We're live.
All right, looks like we got it.
We are live. Let me make sure the audio doesn't sound like garbage.
The last time we did a live stream it was for the to celebrate the start of the regular season last year. We had some tech difficulties with that one, so hopefully this is smooth sailing the whole way through. So we're just
It's a
gonna
good song.
make sure everything is okay here, and then we'll get started celebrating 2 years of the touchdown table. That is just really remarkable. The fact that I could even say that. So
Yeah, good. We're good.
Jordan says the
Sounds
audio is good.
Yes, sir.
All
Okay.
right, so here we are, 9 o'clock, right on time.
Yeah. Happy to say that I was the first one in to the live stream, and I'm gonna refresh it on my computer so I can have it up and just see if anything pops up here. There it is, live stream 2 year anniversary.
You get 9 o'clock. Get online.
We're on.
It is 9 o'clock sharp. We started, and
You're on already?
we are
Yes,
on.
we're
I'm
live.
on TV.
You're behind
YouTube.
it.
Yeah.
In the background. What's up, everybody? What's up, YouTubers? What's up, baby? Trump.
Okay.
Personal opinion, but it's
Yeah.
okay.
All right, so we can really get started here. And if you did our trivia, touchdown table trivia on our Instagram story earlier today, one of the questions was, who do I introduce first? Well, here's your answer. Hey guys, welcome to the touchdown table. I'm Ryan. That's Tyler. That's Jordan. So I do introduce Tyler first on our videos. Really, I was really pleasantly surprised with the response we got on the Instagram. Saw a lot of people liking our post and responding to the questions and doing the trivia. So thank you guys. Always love to interact with our followers and people who have supported us during these past years. So yeah, I woke up this morning at like 12:30 p.m. But when I did, I was very pleasantly surprised.
So you probably woke up to the news today.
What?
Did you?
Yes, I did, and we'll get to that in a second. Then I was scrolling through Instagram, I saw that. So certainly was very pleased to see all of the responses we've gotten on the trivia. And yes, just wanted to tie in that question. Who do I introduce at the start of videos? 13 got it right and said Tyler. 8 got it wrong and said Jordan. So now that trivia was an opportunity for you guys to learn more about the channel, which is now 2 years old. So we're going to have a fun time tonight talking football, celebrating 2 years, and probably going in some other directions.
Yeah, we'll be talking probably about some random stuff too, because of course it is the off season, and so there's not a lot of gritty details we can get into besides the trade that we mentioned earlier, which we'll get into once we have more than one person watching this, which is of course me on my computer right now.
Oh, I just went out.
It did? I don't know. I can't see if it
Takes time for these things to
we
get
have 2
started.
watching now.
Yeah.
So unless someone else just went in, I don't think so though. By the way, if you are, we have 4 watching. If there are one of the people watching right now, feel free to comment something, ask a question, just say hi to us, whatever it is, and we'll try to respond to you as long as it's not something inappropriate. And we'll give you our best answer, no matter if it's football or anything else. Just say something, want to interact with you guys, have some fun, talk football, and talk life as well.
Yeah, so I think we could probably start with the news of today.
Absolutely.
I would believe.
As we have.
Yeah, I mean, I saw this leaving
Yeah,
church. I saw it leaving church today, and I thought, okay, this is gonna be a great thing to start our live stream off with, and here we are right now. So if you don't know, you've been living under a rock for the last 10 hours at this point. It's been out. Around then, maybe a little less than that.
It was like already 2 hours old when I woke up. I don't know.
Yeah. So Julio Jones officially now traded to the Tennessee Titans. That is big news. Clearly, Jordan's grabbing his water. But I mean, now just to think of that offense they have there. I mean, we've made jokes on our podcast and YouTube channel as well. They're talking about how big these guys are on this team. Talking about AJ Brown and especially Derrick Henry, who's been the butt of the joke that we've had here. Now adding Julio Jones to that, it's going to be very difficult to stop the offense. It already was, and even now in a weaker division with the Colts being the only team that has a chance to rival them, Julio Jones makes a big impact and makes him a potential Super Bowl contender.
Yeah, absolutely. And when I, saw the news, I had to scroll and make sure, like, okay, is this actually real or is this just another Photoshop? But turns out it was real. We'll get into the details of the trade first. And something that I really think that is just kind of instinctive to do when a trade happens is always say, okay, well, who won? But with this trade, again, like the Sam Darnold trade, I really think when you look at the situations of both of those teams, it makes sense. The Falcons were ready to move on from him. They're heading towards a rebuild. They need to shed some cap, need to be able to sign more young players. Julio Jones can still contribute, but I really think the Falcons understand that, hey, we've been going downhill these past few years. We're going to be headed towards rebuild. Probably want to get some more cap space open, more draft capital to get either younger guys or maybe trade up in a future draft to trade up for a future, franchise quarterback in 2022 maybe is the year that they go for a quarterback, someone like, I don't know, Spencer Rattler or Sam Howell. A little too early to be talking about that. And for the Titans, they think they can contend. They've been a playoff team these past few years. They've gotten better. And they feel like Julio Jones could be a player that takes their offense to new heights. So I really think it mutually benefits both sides. And for the Titans, I think it'll be interesting to see what their offense looks like with Arthur Smith leaving to become the head coach of, kind of ironically, the Falcons. New offensive coordinator. Now you got Julio Jones. So when you think of the Titans offense, you think smash mouth, run, Derrick Henry, 40 carries. I still think Derrick Henry is going to do great things, but in terms of, pass run ratio, I do think we could see Tennessee start to throw the ball more in 2021 than they did in previous years, just because of the guys they got to throw to.
Yeah, I mean, this Tennessee offense is going to be something that is going to be scary. Any defense going up against it will certainly have their hands full, to say the least. Now, the defense, that's going to be a bit lacking, losing some players.
Yeah, they lost like 3 corners.
Yeah, so it's going to be tough on them. But there are obviously teams that are led by their offense, and I think they could do it. I like a lot of people on this team, on this offense specifically. And so, hey, it's going to be fun. We had the Patriots and the Titans basically were the two we were just trying to decide between for this trade. And I said Patriots just didn't make sense logistically. So if anything, it would be the Titans. And I guess I was kind of right on that one. So it did end up being the Titans. And I think it's a great fit. We know A.J. Brown, I don't even know how to say it. He wore Julio Jones's jersey in warm-ups last year when they were playing the Falcons to kind of pay respect to him. So that was kind of cool. And now they're on the same team, and I believe Julio is going to be 8 since AJ is 11, unless he wants to hand over that
I
number.
just saw something recently. It was like AJ Brown on a podcast saying that he was going to give up 11.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's kind of a sign of respect. I mean, he looked up to Julio Jones clearly, so kind of a sign of, hey, maybe he had some say in where he was traded to. I think he's probably AJ Brown saying, hey, you came here, you're going to take us to new heights. You're a veteran. I look up to you. I respect you. That's why I wanted you here. So it could kind of be just a message of respect. But yeah, I mean, who really cares about like the numbers? I think that the point is these two guys on the same field. It's going to be dangerous. It's going to be exciting. And I mentioned earlier how it might change kind of the way they run things on offense. Last year, the Titans ran the ball 51.8% of the time and passed the ball 48.2% of the time. That's the third highest 1% of any team in the league in 2020. So I think just with a new offensive coordinator with Julio Jones in there, we could start to see some more passing. I don't think it's going to shift that much. I just think maybe that flips a bit. Maybe they pass the ball a little more. And I just think that's kind of the direction their offense wants to head. I think they want to be able to beat you in multiple ways because Derrick Henry is great, but especially when you're playing these back and forth games where there's lots of offensive possessions and it's just crazy and lots of big plays, it could get tiring even for a workhorse running back. So I think now that the Titans have more ways to attack you on offense, getting a guy like Julio Jones and AJ Brown, I think by himself is just getting into his prime. I think AJ Brown still might be the number one receiver on that team in 2021, and that's no slight to Julio. That's just kind of because of where AJ Brown is in his career right now, kind of just reaching his peak, while Julio Jones can still contribute at a high level, but is probably a fairly common belief around the league that Julio Jones's best days are behind him. So I think the Titans will still be able to beat you with the run game. They're not going to move away from that completely. I just think that they might pass the ball a little more this year than they did in 2020, which was clearly a lot, third most in the league.
Yeah.
They ran the ball third most in the league.
Good point by you. We'll jump back into Julio Jones stuff in just a second. First, I want to read the comments real quick. If you're new to the stream, I said it before, but go ahead and comment something if you want us to answer a question or just say hi. Go ahead and comment it. We love to interact with you guys. First comment of the day was from David Garza. He said, "This better be the Ryan Shaving live stream." Now, this one, if you know what we're talking about here, then you have to kind of, you must have been watching us for a while. You must have watched other live streams because in that one, Ryan, you probably can't see it with these cameras right now. No, you can't see it, but Ryan does have a little bit of hair on his face. He's got some facial hair.
Yeah.
And so Mr. David Garza does not like that facial hair on Ryan.
Not uncommon.
And yeah. And
I don't take it personally. It's all right.
And so last live stream, David was like, "Hey, you need to shave that for the live stream." And he was like, "No, I'm not doing that." And so he wanted us to do it again. He was talking to me about it earlier today. Unfortunately, though, Ryan does not want the razor to come out, although we could tie him up and do it against his will.
Yeah.
But
We'll pass
that could get some views, but that's not what we're about here. on the touchdown table. Next one from Grace Klein. She said, "Hey, touchdown table, who is your biggest fan of the channel?" I have my answer. I'll let you two answer first.
I mean, I think our biggest fan, Jordan, would be our dad.
Yeah, I think
I
just
think that's probably the unanimous answer.
yeah. I
at the
mean,
table,
how did
right,
this
Jordan?
cloth get
Yeah.
here? How did we get these
This
mugs?
is here.
How are
this
we
is
wearing
here,
these
this
shirts?
is here. The
I
shirts
mean,
are here.
you
All
know.
because of my dad. So it's thanks to him that we have
Yeah,
all these nice accessories. If you saw the thumbnail of this video, which you can just go click off the video and see, you'll see where we started day one, just an empty table. What we have, just
like
non-touchdown
random
table
mugs, no tablecloth, the glare in the TV.
Yeah, no microphones, no
yeah.
lighting or anything like that.
No banner.
No banner. That's
no
another thing.
banner as well.
Let's forget about the banner.
So we've come a long way, and a lot of the stuff we have is thanks to my dad. So
Yeah.
have to go with that answer. I really don't think there's another one.
Yeah, there's nothing that really competes with it now besides someone that we know. Haven't seen him around as much recently, but he's been popping in. He was around for a while on our channel. Is Marco Gloss. We
He's
talked
still
about him
popping every
in the
once in a
last
while.
one. He's
Yeah.
still
There was
actually
one
just
video where he
popping in.
commented
came in
like
on
still here.
Yeah. So we love him. He's a good supporter of ours.
Absolutely.
Other supporters that have been back a couple times too. Some friends. So everyone, thank you for the support. My dad's the first one that comes to mind for all of us. He is certainly our biggest supporter, but we love all of our supporters very much. So thank you.
Marco actually commented on our most recent video,
Oh, it is.
which unfortunately, by the way, we did not post on Friday, and we're probably not going to post for Monday because we're doing the stream. And you're going to have this to watch, and then we're going to repost parts of it
Yeah.
throughout the summer as it goes on, because we're busy people this summer, so we don't have a lot of time to get together. We don't want to
Yeah.
film videos for you that are filmed a month and a half before
Exactly.
are done. So we'll keep these going for the stream, which still are being filmed a month and a half before. But at least you understand the format of it and it explains it
Yeah.
more, just to set that up.
Yeah.
All right. Caleb Leonard said, "What's up? What's your thoughts on Julio Jones getting traded?" Now we were talking about that earlier. And Caleb, thanks for joining us. We'll get back into that in just a second. Don't worry, it might have been your bad as you said, but it's okay. Just listen up next time. Just joking, love him in. But
Yeah.
let's jump back into Julio Jones right now. If you're still here, got 7 people watching, 6 or 6.
8. Mine just went up to 8.
Oh, it did? Wow, nice. If you're here, comment something. If you want to talk to us, question, say hi, do whatever you want. Just make it appropriate. And we will read it off. Okay, back to Julio Jones. We'll get into the meat of this trade and the details. First, I just wanted to mention, because I don't think we said it, Corey Davis, who had a surprisingly good year finally for the Titans last year, drafted in the first round and kind of was just a bust for a long time. Someone that a lot of people thought, okay, he might have a job next year, or maybe next year. Okay, next year. Well, last year, it was that year that he played really well. A person who had him in fantasy on our team liked him a lot. And so that was fun to watch for sure. It was just cool to see Corey Davis finally do something great. But then he was a free agent. He's like, you know what? Had a good season. Let's go get paid. Moved to the Jets, and now he's working there with Zach Wilson. So that should be a fun one to watch. But now they had that open slot at that wide receiver 2 position because AJ Brown is the 1, and so they had to fill it with someone, and they filled it with Julio Jones. So I think that's a good person to fill into that slot right there. Just wanted to mention Corey Davis and hope the best for him in his next steps. And so now the meat of the trade, as I was talking about here, we can talk about winners and losers. Ryan said it's kind of equal, and really I agree because the Falcons kind of had to get rid of Julio and they got some decent value out of it. So they received a 2022 second round pick, a 2023 fourth rounder, and the Titans will also get a 2023 sixth rounder. So a second and a fourth going for a sixth, and obviously Julio Jones. So I feel like that's a decent trade. Needed to get Julio out of there. Got a second and a fourth out of it, and had to only get about a 6 in 2023. Adding somebody like that to your team for that value is certainly going to be great with such upside on Julio Jones. And also, the Falcons didn't have to. The Titans didn't have to give away too much for it, but it was enough for the Falcons to really feel like they got some value out of it.
Yeah, I would say so. And maybe this could take us into our next topic to talk about that we could format for a video. So where do you guys think Julio Jones is in terms of wide receivers? And maybe that could lead in like a top 5 wide receiver. Just off the bat right now, just thinking about it based on last year. First off, let's just say, where is Julio? And then maybe we can put together a top 5.
I'll start. That's a tough question for me to answer, just because Julio was on a good. I think Matt Ryan's decent. I think that offense wasn't terrible, so he's got a good quarterback in Matt Ryan, in my opinion. He also had a good wide receiver 2 next to him, maybe a 1, depending on how you want to say it. in Calvin Ridley last year. So I think that it's kind of tough to evaluate just exactly how good he was in these previous years. Now I think the injury stuff and kind of the inconsistency stuff and just not making as many big plays as he was before. There was like week 1 2 years ago against the Eagles where he went up and made a huge catch, and ever since then it kind of declined for Julio Jones. And so also going back to the Super Bowl too is where he was kind of at that moment. And I think definitely was the next season where he had that good catch. And then I really can't remember many more Julio highlights. He's definitely had some good plays for sure. But I think he is still a wide receiver 1 in my opinion. I don't think he's top tier wide receiver 1. I don't think he's top 5. He'd probably fit into top 10, top 7, question mark for me. Not positive about that. And so going to the Titans, I think it's going to be good for him. I think he'll be competing with another top tier wide receiver in AJ Brown for targets, and I think it'll be a fun competition to watch. And so with Julio Jones right now in his career, I think he's in a good spot. He's definitely not in his prime. I don't think there's many people that argue he is still in his prime, but he can definitely get some work done. I'm excited to see what he can do with the Titans. And I think that as long as he's able to stay healthy, he can put up probably like those Corey Davis numbers we saw last year. I think that's what they're looking for him, if not a bit more over that mark.
Yeah, I think that it is kind of hard to judge right now just because of where he is in his career, like we talked about. I think he could still be a fringe top 10 guy. I
I think he's top 7. I'm looking right now, and
I think he could be a top 10 guy. Yeah, I'm not top 5.
not
Probably
like
not
top
anymore. I'd say maybe ceiling like anywhere from 7 to 12. I think you can make an argument for. Maybe give a few on each end of that, but I still think the potential's there.
let's go through it and see.
But yeah, like
Okay.
he's not a.
I got
He's
him
not.
right
What,
here.
what are we doing here? Like,
Well, just top receivers and see where we were.
Hopkins is in front of him. Adams is going to be in front of him.
I think Diggs is in front of him.
Diggs is going to be in front of him. I agree with you on that one.
Hill is in
Tyreek
front of him.
Hill.
I think Hill's in
Tyreek
front of
Hill.
him.
Yeah.
How about AJ Brown?
I
think
really
he-
think so. I
I do
really
think
think so.
so. It's
Again,
fine.
look at where they are in their careers right now. AJ Brown is here. Julio Jones is kind of here.
Yeah.
So I think this year it'll kind of be
How
like
about Calvin Ridley on his team last year? They're
I
side by
wouldn't
side.
say-
Calvin Ridley had a lot more production.
Let's hold on that one for now.
Yeah. I'm not. I
DK
think.
Metcalf? I think so. I think DK gets to go above Julio right now.
But DK's.
He had inconsistencies last year, but I think this year I think.
Think
he'll
about
play
like
a lot of it.
types of like DK's just an up and down guy in terms of actual route running and like.
I don't think so.
consistency.
DK's a speed guy. He can run.
He
some
he
routes.
can run fast, but I think Julio might be a bit more of a complete receiver even at this point than DK. I'm not ruling out
DK's
putting
still
DK out.
young.
Yeah,
All
for
right,
sure.
we'll hold those two
Yeah.
off for now. Other wide receivers. I think Keenan Allen's better than him. I love Keenan Allen. I think I'm willing to put 6 on that one for Keenan.
Let's do a general order then. But I mean, based on last year, you'd say Devontae Adams is 1.
Yeah.
Maybe DeAndre Hopkins would be 2.
Yes.
Maybe a Tyreek Hill or possibly. I mean, who else would we throw in at 3?
I really like
like-
Stephon Diggs.
I think
last
Diggs
year.
would be.
I think Diggs is honestly third.
Diggs would I would say 3 for Diggs as well.
Yeah.
So we're unanimous right now, top 3.
Yeah.
4, I would probably then say Tyreek Hill.
Tyreek.
Jordan, would you agree?
That's fine there. Yeah.
I mean, we can all have different opinions.
Yeah, I like this list so far.
5, maybe. I mean, I don't know who else you put in front of AJ Brown.
Maybe is this Keenan Allen
I
territory
think
yet?
it is. I love Keenan Allen.
I would not say.
I think-
Keenan
I
Allen's
think
top
he's very.
5
I
right
think he's
now.
underrated, but top 5 might be a little.
I think he's top 5.
I would say AJ Brown, honestly, personally.
If you're
We're just
looking,
going with our
are you looking at
own
like
opinions.
heading into this year?
Yeah, like
I
based
think.
on what we've seen, who
Like
are
I,
the top
like I
5?
said, I think AJ Brown's best days are ahead of him. So I honestly, it wouldn't be what I would expect, but just like you say, hey, you're gonna make a list of top 5 receivers. AJ Brown's gonna be 5. I wouldn't really think that, but now that you say that, I think looking at again where he is in his career, I think this is going to be a big year for AJ Brown, and I really think even with Julio Jones, I still think AJ Brown is going to be the number 1 guy for this Titans team. So
I think so too. I
You
think
can even
goes
throw in
ahead of
Allen
him for sure.
Robinson in front of Julio
Oh, yeah.
Jones if you want
no,
to.
absolutely.
Adam
Allen
Thielen.
Robinson. I mean,
That would
you look
be
at the production he's put up with the quarterbacks he's played with. I think Allen Robinson. Like, if you don't have Allen Robinson in your top 8, I think there's a problem there.
How about Michael Thomas? He didn't perform well last year.
I think he deserves to be in front of him. I mean, I have my problems with Michael Thomas just because fantasy football reasons kind of screwed me last year. The year before that, though, what a man. But we're out of the way here. But I think he still deserves to be top tier kind of.
Okay, so I'm just gonna go through what we
That's seven
said
already
so
that we
far.
have at least. We
Yeah, I'm
agreed
gonna
on
read off
seven.
the names. That
I think we have
that
Keenan Allen in front of Julio Jones.
Okay, you guys said so.
So
So I'm
that's
just gonna read
8.
off the names we
Yeah.
would have: Devontae Adams, DeAndre Hopkins, Tyreek Hill, Allen Robinson, AJ Brown. We said maybe Michael Thomas, Stephon Diggs, Adam Thielen. We said maybe.
I wouldn't say.
Wait, who said it? I'm doing.
I mentioned it.
Oh, okay.
Calvin Ridley,
Mm,
maybe a Mike Evans. I'm seeing that one right now. I don't know.
I don't like. I feel like I don't want to be too hard on him now.
DK
like,
Metcalf
on
and
Julio.
Keenan
Yeah, I
Allen.
think
Those were
Mike-
guys we said as well.
Yeah.
That could be ahead of them.
If we
Personally-
keep this up, we're gonna start be saying like, "Oh, Chad Beebe's better than him," and
Chad
Tyler
Beebe needs to
Johnson's
go.
better than him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I don't want to be too
Should we put
harsh
Tim
on him.
Tebow on this list? I mean, I know
He's a tight end. I don't know.
I think he deserved it.
Yeah.
I
Randall
think there's
Cobb is better than okay.
I think there's at least 8 to. I mean, we could disagree on the wide receivers in our order for them, but I
Yeah.
think we could all agree that there's about 8 to 9 people of those
That
guys
have
who
an
just went
argument.
off in
Yes.
front
Yes.
of Julio Jones, but I don't think it's much more. I think he's
Yeah,
certainly in that top 10. I don't think he's over. I don't think he crests the top 10. I don't think he's outside of it, but I think that not top 7, not top 10, probably top 8 to 9. I mean, that's a small range.
So I have a big my range. I think you can make an argument from anywhere from 7 to about 12 as to where he ranked. I think again maybe give a few on each side. I think that there are guys better than him. He's not what he once was, but we still have to give this guy
Oh, he deserves
the
a lot of
credit he
credit, yeah.
deserves. So we can. I feel like
I say
I think
you know.
personally I'd put him around 6 or 7. Maybe.
I
7 or
probably
8.
have him at
Somewhere between
10.
6 and
even though it wasn't
9,
my
maybe.
range.
again maybe like,
Just throwing those like I don't know.
I say a
exactly, 'cause I
reasonable
need more
range
time to
now.
form
I changed
it.
yeah exactly.
Reasonable range is probably around 6 to 11.
That's that yeah like kind of similar to mine. I think like I said my range is 7 to 12.
I'll have
His
them
is 6
at
to 11.
10.
Yeah.
Tentative 10.
Yeah, again, a lot of this, maybe when I get home tonight, maybe I'll actually like formally make a list or do something.
Yeah.
But
By the way, listeners, if you have an opinion on this after all those guys we read off, please put the number in the comments. We'd like to get our you guys' opinions. Also, I'll read off some comments real quick, and we'll get back to this. First off, Jack Stoches said, "I called David at 2 a.m." Okay, it's a little sus.
congrats. I
David
guess.
said no, and then Jack responded with, "Ryan needs to shave," and David said, "That's right." So that was their conversation. We also had a comment from Messy Steve. Love the logo, by the way. Pretty cool. It says, "Good job on 2 years." Thank you, Messy Steve. We really appreciate that.
I have another thing as well. I've been getting texts personally from the Wood family who's trying to get me to answer this question. Specifically, Joe Wood is
Okay.
trying to ask, will the Lions be the division champs of the NFC North?
No.
But I think the simple answer
The simple
no.
answer is no.
No.
We could dive into that real quick, I guess. And so
let's just talk about who we think in the
well,
NFC
does
North.
that-
we
does
can
this- okay.
discuss NFC
All
North.
right, this is
right
gonna
now.
be kind of harsh, but does anyone here think the Lions will not finish 4th in that division?
The way I look at it
Unless-
right now,
unless
I don't know.
the Aaron Rodgers drama holds true, which I don't think there's much chance of it.
No.
I think the Lions are, unless Jared Goff just goes completely off.
He has
and,
no
goes
receivers.
super sane. I know he has no receivers.
Literally, like Amon-Ra St. Brown was a nice pick, but that's a 4th round rookie. Then who? Quintez Cephas and did they get Rashad Perriman or something? Like, I don't even know. I think they did.
the lack of wide receivers is a problem for the Lions.
Yeah.
But I mean, you look at the roster; they've been improving every year. So it's not to say they're going to be an
They
awful
haven't
team
improved
next
this
year.
year, though. I mean, they
The
got
foundation
worse this
is
year.
finally there. I feel like
Yeah.
what they're going to do, they're going to spend. They spent this year. Jared Goff is a placeholder. He's a placeholder for, in my opinion, a young quarterback that they'll draft in anywhere from 2022 to 2024. So, but between now and the time they draft that young quarterback of the future, they're going to use their draft capital and free agency, getting guys like Penei Sewell, like Amon-Ra St. Brown, other guys that they'll bring in the future. They're kind of trying to build the situation around
Build
the
that
future
better.
quarterback.
Yeah.
They are trying to build things better.
Mhm.
So when maybe a future quarterback comes in 2023, hey, we've got these young receivers here already, and again, it's like this is
It's kinda like-
it's a
Like
unique
the Jaguars,
process.
kind of, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Like their rebuild, where they were just kind of like, yeah, get everyone out of here, let's trade them, and let's rebuild from the foundation. Get the number 1 pick, get Trevor Lawrence, get Tim Tebow, of course, to go, and some other people as well. It's gonna have to be probably a more patient rebuild for the Lions, but they're ready to do it. And I think that they have the foundation there, as Ryan said. They have
Yeah.
the young guys, and they just gotta hit on some draft picks, get in the right spots on some draft picks, and I think they have a shot to rebuild. And so I don't think they're finishing anywhere but fourth in the NFC
Yeah.
North. That's just my opinion on it.
Let's go to the other three teams then. Let's just talk about while we're talking
Sure.
about the NFC
Yeah.
North, right?
Yeah.
Who wins that division? I mean, right now it's tough to say because we don't know what's going to happen with Aaron Rodgers, who is the Green Bay Packers team.
Yeah,
Not
basically.
literally, but basically, yes. So we don't know what's going to happen with that. But let's just go through those other three teams. Where do you guys think they land? I could start if you guys are ready. Go ahead.
Okay. I'm assuming Aaron Rodgers is coming back. I don't see anything in him that would say he's leaving Green Bay. And so that leads me to believe that the Packers are going to continue their dominance. They'll be at 1. Vikings is a question mark. I don't like the Vikings.
We're well aware of this.
Yeah.
If you watch like half the videos on this channel,
Yeah.
Jordan will bash the Vikings at one point.
As a Bears fan, which you can tell by stuff over here, both sides of us were Bears fans, except for Ryan is a Texan fan. As a Bears fan,
Sorry.
I'm told I must hate the Packers, but I hate the Vikings. Not a huge fan of Kirk Cousins, and so let's go Kellen Mond, even though I don't really either, but that's another story. And so, anyways, with the Vikings, it's a big question mark. I think they can do some good things. That defense is not what it was before, and so it really just depends on Dalvin Cook and that running game. That's kind of what the Vikings are to me now. Depends on how Cook's going to play. It depends on how that line's going to block, and then Kirk has to do some things through the air. I think Thielen, when he had good games last year, is when the Vikings played the best. But if Thielen's not going off and Dalvin Cook isn't literally just ripping people apart, then I think the Vikings are kind of weak. So they need kind of two guys to step up, and everyone else is just kind of there, in my opinion. And so I think they'll probably be a bit over 500, but they're not really a crazy elite team. They have a chance to compete for sure. They're just a big question mark for me. And then the Bears.
Yeah, well, let's remember the schedule the Vikings go on. Playoffs, miss the playoffs. Playoffs, miss the playoffs. Last year they missed the playoffs. They're due for a playoff appearance this year, and I think they have the foundations to do that. I do think they're going to be the second best team in this division, and I would say the Bears would be 3. We got a comment from No Patch Jim who was saying that they have the Bears offense sucks, no running game.
I don't think the no running game part is true.
David Montgomery is there.
He finished the year
He was
really
good
strong,
last year.
Like the last 5 games, didn't he do pretty well?
Yeah, but other than that, it was really bad though.
Okay.
So
The thing is, I see why you're saying that, and as a Bears fan, I might just be trying to back my team here, but kind of my opinion on it is our running game. You're absolutely correct. I mean, as a Bears fan who's listening to the Bears media, watching Bears games every single Sunday, Monday, Thursday, whenever they're playing, you can definitely tell, especially early on in the season, the running game was just not good. It was very inconsistent, and they were kind of forced to pass a lot. So it really was bad. And I mean, unless Montgomery was just kind of doing some really good things, which sometimes he did, then it was really rough patch. We couldn't find a balance between the run and the pass. And so I do agree that last year our run game was kind of iffy. Montgomery's still not a bad running back, but just because you have a good running back doesn't mean you have a good run game. I know it sounds weird, but
Trey Tone was out as well for a long time.
Trey Tone was out. And so I think the main thing was the offensive line. I like David Montgomery. I think he might be a bit slow, but he's certainly a good back. I love his vision, love his game. And okay, went down on my computer, but it looks like it's still rolling over there, so that's good. As I'll just get this up right now. Anyways, though, I think we've improved our offensive line, which will, of course, help David Montgomery. Getting Tevin Jenkins in the second round, trading up for him was, I think, such an awesome move. But as much as I loved getting Justin Fields, that might be our best move of the draft, and that's saying something after getting a quarterback now. And so with the offensive line being improved, I think the run game will improve alongside that. If the Bears can't find a balance between the run and the pass, then it's going to be a problem, just like it has been the past many years under Nagy. So that's something that they'll certainly try to address. As Coach Matt Nagy always says, we have to find our identity. A Bears fan's worst nightmare to hear every single Sunday, but it's true. We do hear it all the time.
Every single week.
Yeah, but also, as every head coach does, he said we had a great week of practice, because what team doesn't have a great week of practice?
We always have to have a great week of practice. All right, so let's wrap this part of it up now. To answer No Patch Jim other question, who do you think wins the NFC least this year? He says NFC least.
I don't think it's going to be. I think it's going to be better.
I think he's talking about the NFC East.
Well, yeah.
So we'll get to that in just a second.
Yeah.
But let's wrap up the NFC North.
Yeah, you and I will give our North
in just a moment.
standings.
So let's do the North, and then we'll get to the NFC least in a second.
Well, I'll just go right now. And
Who
again,
wins the North? We'll just say that.
who wins the North?
Yeah.
Right now, I would say Green Bay wins the North.
I agree. Jordan?
Yeah, I said it earlier. Green Bay.
Okay. So we all in Green Bay, and then the Vikings, you would probably say second, I would think, right?
Yes.
I would say the same thing. Bears third and Lions fourth. Jordan, would you agree with that?
Bias comes in there second.
Okay, so he flips the Bears. So relative similarity there. Pretty
Yeah.
close.
East now. We're going to get to that right now, the
Yeah,
NFC
yeah.
least. I don't know if they're that this year. I mean,
They're not.
they have the Eagles in that division who are probably
Yeah.
going to
Everyone else got
be
better.
pretty
Though.
low.
Everyone else got
Yes,
better.
I would agree with that. I think this year they're going to be so much better, and we could see a lot of the playoff teams come out of this division. I think there could be definitely two that come to
I
mind
think
that I
there
would
will be
say,
two.
wow, I think these teams will most likely make the playoffs as I was predicted right now. So let's talk about that. He just asked who wins the division, so we'll get to that in just a moment. But obviously, we have the Washington football team, the Cowboys, the Eagles, and the Giants in that division. 3 out of the 4 got better. The Eagles got worse. You guys can add up.
Yeah, I think that it's going to be a division that's a lot better. I think that it, like you said, Tyler, it probably will send multiple playoff teams, in my opinion. But the question was who's going to win the division, and I personally believe, again, I mean, we haven't done our division prediction videos yet, so this is a little bit of a sneak peek. We'll probably be doing those maybe towards the end of June. We'll start getting into our division prediction videos, but we could tell you a little early. I think that the Washington football team will repeat as NFC East champs. I think they got better. I think with that defense, they can beat anyone if they win the battles in the trenches like they so often do. Look at their game against the Steelers. They won the battles in the trenches. They made the plays when they needed to, and they knocked off an undefeated Steelers team. I think Ryan Fitzpatrick is good enough to help them be a playoff team. They improved the supporting cast around him. They've got a great coach in Ron Rivera who's very experienced, knows what he's doing, and also a nice young group of running backs that I really like. You got Gibson in there. You got J.D. McKissick. You got Jarrett Patterson, who they got as an undrafted free agent, which I think the fact that he went undrafted is ridiculous. I just think there's a lot of nice pieces there. I think the Washington football team, for reasons I just said and others, will repeat as NFC East champs.
Yeah, Ryan, I think I like Washington just as much as you. And so I could say everything that Ryan said, I echo. But also, I like the Cowboys too. I think they have a great team. And I think Dak is a fantastic quarterback. I think he's top 5, no question, in my opinion. I think he's up there with the big guys. And I hope he can stay healthy. I hope he has a good recovery. Obviously, he's still in that transition right now. But I've seen him out there in videos and stuff. It looks like he's getting better. So that's going to be good for everyone around the NFL, even Cowboys haters, because no one wanted to see Dak get injured. That was tough on all the NFL community. But obviously the Cowboys defense is going to probably be a train like usual. We're expecting that. They've tried to improve it, but even Cowboys fans will tell you it's not very good. However, we talked about the Titans earlier and how their teams have to be controlled by their offensive production. Well, that's kind of how the Cowboys have been for a couple years, and for some games they've had success. And I mean, it's always, if you're a team that's just relying on one side of the ball, you're probably going to be in a lot of close games. Just going back to the game where Dak got hurt against the Giants. The Giants, not particularly a great team. They can compete. Last year they were competing with some teams, and they didn't have Saquon. That was after that, right? Because he got hurt.
He was hurt
He got hurt
earlier.
in week 2.
Yeah, and so even without Saquon Barkley, the Giants were competing with not the greatest offense against the Cowboys because their defense just couldn't do junk. And so it's just this is facts here. But their offense is going to have to put up a lot of production. I think they can do it. Zeke has to get better for the Cowboys, no question. I am not a huge fan of Zeke. I like Zeke. He just hasn't done too many great things. I think he's been in kind of a lull here. And I've talked to a couple Cowboys fans who say the same thing. Like, why do we sign Zeke to so much money? This dude is garbage. Not garbage, though. He's all right.
He's not quoting anyone there.
No, I'm not quoting anyone. But so I'm going to take the Cowboys on that one. However, I'd love to see Washington win it. I'm rooting for Washington to win it. Eagles, they stink. And Giants, love Kenny Galladay, but I'm not exactly a Daniel Jones believer, but I'd love to see him to have some success.
Me neither, but you mentioned the Giants. Kadarius Toney was a good pick. All you people out there, all you people in sports media saying they had a terrible night 1 of the draft. The Giants were one of the
Let's talk
biggest
about that in a second,
winners.
'cause
It gets me angry. It gets me angry.
Let me answer
you
this
break our
question
tie
first.
first. Then we'll talk about the unnecessary Giants draft team.
And then we got another answer.
Yeah, let me read through the
question
comments
answer
real
from
quick
Mary in
here.
a second. But hold on, let me just
him
answer
break
it really
the tie.
quickly before we read the comments. I'm choosing between the Cowboys and the Washington football team, and it's tough for me because I could see both of these teams winning 11 plus games next year. I think they both have a shot to be really good, but I really want to see Washington win this division. And I think they have a chance to do it, especially now with that defense that they have. If they can get the consistent quarterback play, I think they can really take it over the edge of this team. So I'm going to pick Washington to win it just right now.
Yeah.
That's not official, just me at this moment wanting Washington to be that team and thinking they have the talent to do so. I'm going to pick them. So now,
Yeah.
Jordan, you can go ahead.
Yeah,
and
I'll go back a bit because we've had a decent amount of
Yes.
comments here.
Love to see it.
Voice crack on that one. First off, we didn't read it before. This was a bit ago, but No Pats Jim said, "What a scary offense that is Julio Jones and Derrick Henry with the Titans." Absolutely correct. This is a scary offense. The two guys you named off, two really big guys, in Derrick Henry and Julio Jones, and so just facing up against those two guys is a competition in itself. Add in AJ Brown, add in some other good players, add in Ryan Tannehill, who had a surprising upburst in these past couple of years, and this offense gets really scary. So for sure, you're right. And Tyler commented, the touchdown table commented, yes, very scary.
It was me. That's what I'm doing on my
yeah.
phone this whole time.
And we'll answer this question because I think we'll get back to Kadarius Toney in just a second here. I'll let them rant. But Jack Stoja said, "Who talks the most?" And well, if you've been listening to this whole podcast, I'm used to recording longer podcasts with these guys. But this is a live stream. If you're listening to this whole live stream, I probably talk the most. And I think these guys, I mean, off camera, it's probably still me. If on
It kind of depends on what.
it
we're
really
talking
just depends on the
about.
day.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it depends
Like,
on the
there's some
day.
days
Certain
where I'll just
topics
go
that
off.
Jordan will just talk and
Yeah.
talk and talk.
that's true.
And then
I
Uh,
won't
but-
shut up.
But,
Yeah.
but in videos, as long as I'm not like completely tired, which-
sometimes that's okay.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
but in videos, as
Very
long as
rare
I'm not
sometimes.
completely tired, then it's usually me. I think we'd agree on that.
Yeah, I would say
Yeah.
I was just gonna say it's probably Jordan unless he's tired, and then he will not talk at all.
Or-
Yeah.
Then
Oh, yeah.
I'll read very monotonely that we'll watch a couple of days later and laugh at.
Go right, next one. Really, a bunch of these. Keep going. Jordan.
Okay, responding to No Pets Jim saying that the Bears running game sucks. Jack just said facts. Jack, I thought you were a Bears fan. Brian Klein said, "Boys, congrats on 2 years on the channel. You guys have grown a bunch in your knowledge of the game. Keep up the good work." Thank you, Brian. We really appreciate that
Yeah.
one.
I mean,
Thank
we're
you
not
for
where
the
we are
support.
without him.
Exactly.
Just again, we mentioned. So
Yeah.
thanks to him.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Thank you.
And No Pets Jim, when we were talking about the NFC North, he said Vikings make playoffs, but no further than that. I could certainly see that happening.
Mhm.
Talked about the NFC least last year, and then he clarified that it was the East. I don't know why Tyler thought it wasn't the East, but apparently he did.
Well, I wanted to wrap up the NFC North first, but then I realized, oops, I went into the NFC East too early.
Yes, that's all right. We'll answer this question. Actually, yeah, we'll answer it. Who's going to be the defensive player of the year?
Oh, great question.
I think maybe we can wait on this one just for
Yeah.
a bit because I want to do, MVP, defensive
Yeah.
player, like we did last year, one after another.
Okay.
So,
Now,
Mary,
let
we
me
will
read
get
through the
back to
other
your
ones real
question.
quick.
I promise.
All right. And Mary also said, "Oh, and happy 2-year anniversary." Thank you
Thanks.
so much to
Thank
everyone
you.
who said that. Thank you,
We
Mary.
just got a
Thank
new
you to
comment as well.
everyone else who was watching. I saw that one, and I'm
Well,
excited
it's
to
an
read this one
important
off. Andrew Rasmus says Logan Paul drops Floyd Mayweather tonight.
Wrong.
Yeah, I don't really follow
Right.
fighting or wrestling, but I always hear
Not
all these other
wrestling.
people talking like,
It's-
"Oh, there's a big fight tonight," and I'm like, "What?" Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't really watch
I'm
wrestling
excited
that
for
much.
this one. If we weren't doing this, I'd probably pay-per-view to buy it because I do want to watch it, but I'll just find out what happens afterwards.
Yeah, I don't.
I
Maybe.
think Floyd Mayweather is going to end up winning. I mean, I know Logan Paul is not a bad fighter. I mean, we've seen him fight before. I think his last fight was against KSI, where they technically tied, but I think they gave it to KSI.
Yes, I won.
So
I didn't watch it. I don't know.
that was the last one, but I think he'll stand a chance. I just think Floyd Mayweather wins. He's had so much more experience.
Yeah,
I don't
I
know.
thought like
It's
Logan
just-
Paul was like a YouTuber or something. Like where did
Well,
He's a very good fighter.
Well, first, let's just go through Logan Paul here.
Yeah.
Remember the show Bizarre-Bark?
Yes.
It was on that along
That
with,
was Jake Paul, wasn't it?
I think it might have been Jake Paul. But
Jake
that's
Paul
when,
was on
that's when the
Bizarre-Bark.
Paul name was known.
Yeah, that's where I know
also-
him as like YouTube people and actors, and all of a sudden, next thing I knew, they were
I
wrestling.
think it was
So,
Jake
I
Paul,
don't
you're
know.
right, though. But also on that show, Bizarre-Bark,
Yeah.
is Olivia Rodrigo. I
She was
don't,
on
I
that
don't,
show?
what?
I did not know that.
Yeah, she was, as far as I remember.
maybe.
And so that's an interesting just throwback on that one. If anyone can fact check us in the comments, but
I'm
I think
fact checking right
I
now.
think that's true. I don't listen to her very much, but I've listened to some songs. Not bad, just not my type of
Oh,
music that
yeah.
I'm listening to. Yeah. So what a show, Bizarre-Bark, and what a weird name.
I don't think
anyways,
the show
so-
itself is very popular. But
No, I mean, I definitely watched it.
I
but
did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like
I didn't think it
just
was that
literally
good.
about making YouTube videos.
Yeah, it's like,
And then-
let's go make
and
some
ironic
videos.
they went to make it.
Hey, look, what are we
YouTube
doing
after
right now? We're making YouTube videos.
Exactly.
We're
Hey,
live
we're-
streaming.
that. Hey, let's go make some videos.
Yeah.
Hey. Anyways, so then
We don't have a theme
Uh,
song like them though.
I never really watched Logan Paul or Jake Paul on YouTube. I know they were popular though, and then there was something with one of the two of them, and when they had like some weird video that
Oh,
people
yeah.
didn't like, and
Well, wasn't it like in a forest or something?
I think it was in a forest. I don't
Yeah.
remember
Yeah, let's not
exactly
get
what it
into
was,
that.
but let's not get into that.
Yeah.
And then they kind of made a comeback through fighting, had a rivalry with KSI and his gang, which was fun to see that. The Sidemen. I don't follow Sidemen very much. Tyler used to, and my good friends Noah follows them a lot, so I learned that kind of through the two of them.
I've
saw-
never heard of it. I don't
saw
know what
some of
that is.
Their roasting videos, their music videos they made with each other. Such good songs. Well, Logan Paul's not that good, but KSI, not bad.
That's not the
Some
point.
good songs. Everyone else
Yeah.
made some good songs too, in the Sidemen as well. And then, some fists were thrown, and then KSI won, in my opinion. They fought each other twice, didn't they?
I have no idea.
Yes, they
They
fought
did
each
fight
other
each other
twice.
twice. And then now I believe this is his third fight coming up against a professional UFC fighter in Floyd Mayweather, who's won many in the
Yeah.
past. And
I've actually heard of him as like a
yeah, it has someone
fighter
who's- yeah,
person.
it's like him and Conor McGregor.
Yeah, I've heard of that one. Yeah.
And so
They might already be fighting already.
they might be.
I
So
just know it was sometime
personally,
tonight.
I don't watch much
10
fighting.
Eastern.
I don't think
so-
I've ever watched Floyd
That's what it
Mayweather, and I've watched
so
Logan
it started at
Paul.
the same time this did.
In my opinion, I'm not the biggest Logan Paul fan, so I'd have no problem with just watching him get destroyed. It'd be quite a story if he won. However, I think Dana White, who's the commissioner, I think,
He's UFC.
Yeah.
of the UFC, he was asked on something I was watching if he thought that Logan Paul had a shot in this fight, and he said no, but it's bringing publicity to it. And hey, you want to go out there and give it a shot, you go out there and give it a shot. So in my opinion, I don't think Logan Paul has a crazy shot, but miracles can happen and cool things can happen. However, I think with the experience, Floyd Mayweather is going to take it tonight.
Let's
Although-
not keep Mary waiting anymore. We'll get to
Yeah.
Canadian Tony in a second. Let's answer. Let's get to that portion of it. Hopefully, you guys are prepared for this because we're going to talk about some awards for next year, just predicting them. So we'll start with Defensive Player of the Year, as Mary suggested. So if you guys are ready, feel free and throw out your candidates. So who is going to be the Defensive Player of the Year? I'm saying it so I can set it up for a potential video that will be coming out. Go
All
ahead.
right. I'm gonna go with. This is pretty on the spot, but I actually feel really good about this. I think it's going to be Myles Garrett, Defensive Player of the Year. I just think the situation he's in with that team that is on the rise, flirting with Super Bowl contention, in my opinion. Lots of great players on that defense. He's now got Jadeveon Clowney on the other side of that line. And he's just a great player in general, that game wrecker ability ever since he came out of college, number one pick in 2017. I think that this will be the year. Obviously, you got the Aaron Donalds and the TJ Watts, but I think just with Myles Garrett being the player he is and being in such a great situation when it comes to his team and the guys around him, I'm going to go with Myles Garrett this year for Depoy.
It looks like he's number 2 in the betting odds right now.
Guessing Donald's a favorite, probably.
Yes.
Okay.
Obviously.
But like minus 8,000. Well, probably not that bad.
All right, Jordan, you ready?
Not really.
That's okay. I mean, yeah. I mean, technically, these aren't really. I mean, they are
Yeah.
official. But you
Yeah,
can
I'll
always
just say
change them.
unofficially because it's the first guy I thought of, and it's one of the guys that Ryan said. But I think TJ Watt should have won it last year, and just to pay homage to him and his efforts last year, I think he has another good season. I love TJ Watt. I think he's the future of the game. You can throw Nick Bosa in that future as well. Hopefully, he has a good recovery and is able to stay on the field next year. I love Nick Bosa. I think he's an awesome dude.
Yeah.
And
It'll be
so-
good to see him back out there.
Exactly. Well, but I got TJ Watt. I think he has another great season. But he needs the Steelers team to back him up, and hopefully they will. I don't know what my feelings are on the Steelers right now.
Yeah,
I
they're.
don't know if
I
I
mean,
like them, if I don't like them.
and that whole division is going to be.
You know,
interesting.
I'm a disc golfer, and I know Paul Uleberry. He likes the Steelers,
Okay.
and so I love Yuli. And so just because of that, I feel tempted to like them. However, Juju
Classic Jordan
Smith-Schuster
logic.
is still on that team, and so it's
Wow.
TikTok or Yuli. And I think I might have to pick Yuli.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Nick Bosa for mine. I mean, this is
Would love to see
this
it.
is unofficial. I just think last year I think I might have said something similar to this as well. At least we brought up his name. If he doesn't get injured and the 49ers have a similar defense to what they had last year, I know Robert Saleh's not there anymore, but we saw the impact he made in his rookie season. And I think we could see something similar to that again with the 49ers. Probably going to be one of the leaders of this defense already. I mean, it's his third year only. I mean, really second because he got injured so early last year. But he has that type of potential to step up and make a big impact. And I think his name will be thrown in here as well. I was tempted to go with my guy, Antoine Winfield. I wanted to do it. And I think that's not that much of a stretch, but I don't think he'll be winning Defensive Player of the Year. I think he'll be
It's a stretch, but it's not beyond anything.
I think he should be one of the 10. I think at the end of the season, I would say he could be like one of the 10 guys that would be thrown in that conversation.
Yeah,
I think he's that good of a player.
He could be.
Only in his second year.
I think, you mentioned Bosa. He's another good candidate. Obviously, maybe a candidate for comeback player of the year as well, coming off the injury. But yeah, I mean, you look at those one-on-one matchups and you see Nick Bosa working against another guy. He just always seems to be on the right side of things. So it will certainly be interesting to watch him out there.
Well, he lines up on the left side of the line too.
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously not. Well, anyway, yeah, you know what I mean.
The right side of the play.
Yeah, right side of the play.
The right side.
Yeah, of course. So any other names you guys want to throw out there before we move on to the next one?
I mean, you got to say Aaron Donald's going to be a contender.
Aaron Donald,
I know I picked Miles.
I don't want to be.
Aaron Donald's just a boring pick.
Yeah, no, I really do think Myles Garrett will win it, but Aaron Donald will be in contention.
It's like, okay, yeah, Aaron Donald, yeah, you just want to be.
Yeah.
I mean, you'd probably be right. But,
yeah, I mean.
But still, I just don't want to go with Aaron Donald.
Honestly, this is kind of
Darius Leonard.
Could I mean, I don't like him because he's on the Colts, but I like him
other
as a
guys
player.
I can read off here as well. Joey Bosa, right behind his brother Nick, actually.
Maybe Chase Young.
Khalil Mack, Chase Young's on here. Derwin James, J.J. Watt, Jalen Ramsey, Shaq Barrett, Minka Fitzpatrick, Stephon Gilmore, Jimmy Hunter, Darius Leonard, Von Miller. I'll stop there. Actually, I want to keep going. Bobby Wagner and Devin White is on there.
Oh, Devin White could be a sneaky one. I really like him.
Yeah. So I'll stop at that one. Those are just the betting odds that I saw right now. So that's the Defensive Player of the Year.
Yes.
Now let's move on to what do you guys want to do next?
Well, why don't we
got another question?
Well, yeah,
so
we could.
when
When we're gonna rant about the Giants hate, but we can.
We'll do it after.
We can do that at
after
any
all
time.
the
Right.
awards.
Another
We're
question
gonna comment
from
before we get to that.
another question from Mary. She said, "Who's each boy's favorite team right now?" Sorry if you already talked about it.
I mean, clearly, Jordan and I are Bears fans. I think Mary knew that. Brian, go ahead. And
I am a Texans fan, so 2 Bears fans, 1 Texans fan here at the touchdown table.
And just to get into to some other teams that I like, Bears fan, sticking with the number 1 for sure. But I feel like as long as you're not like obsessed with another team, you could always like other teams more than other ones. And so some teams on that list for me, love the Chargers, love Justin Herbert. I like the Rams. I think that I want to see Matthew Stafford have some success now that he's out of the Bears division. Like the Dolphins. You have a lot of love from Dolphins fans on this channel. I like Tua. I hope he has a good season, although it wasn't as good as I would have liked to see last year. Also, in my Madden franchise, I haven't played in like a year now. My team was the Dolphins, and so I had some love for them because of that. Those are the big 3 for me that are next to it. Also, no, those are the.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not big on those like secondary teams. Like I have teams that I'm high on and teams that I predict to do well. But
there's teams that I'd like to see succeed. Like saying if the Bears didn't make the playoffs, so the Bears were
the Bills for you. That's the team.
Yeah, but they're not like they're a team.
You want to see them succeed.
I want to see them succeed, but it's more because
you're rooting for them.
Yeah, not like fully. Like
how about if
it's like
the Texans when the Texans are eliminated?
Yes. Yeah. So like
these 12, are the teams you will be rooting for.
I can't. I'm very strict with this stuff. Like I don't believe in ever wearing garments of another team. I just don't believe that's something you should do as an NFL fan. I don't think these guys have the same belief, but that's fine. Everyone's different with their
I'm about to bring up a real world example.
The voice crack's really getting you today.
Yeah.
And it's why I'm drinking my water, but I threw my water bottle earlier, so I'm going to have to go pick that up and fill up some more here because I'm almost out. But let's use a real world example here, okay? I'll be honest. I've never dated anyone here. I never.
Oh boy.
But so maybe I'm not in the best position to say this, but if you're dating someone,
go ahead.
If you're dating someone, and obviously, you guys, let's just say you have a solid relationship here.
Yeah.
And it's good. You love them. They're number 1 for sure. Like you're just focused on them, but it does not mean you can't notice other people.
That's
doesn't mean you can't walk past
an outside
like,
touchdown table thing, but I believe Jordan's right in this scenario.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously these two things
like
aren't
your
the same
team might
thing.
be like, hey, come on, don't do that to me. Come on. But they're not. They shouldn't. At least they shouldn't be
Yeah.
like, come on, what are you doing?
Okay, I
Like,
again,
why you have why
the
do you have
relationship
eyes?
is not football. They're two very different things.
But it's
Yeah.
a comparison.
I mean, we do this a
I mean,
lot.
football is life.
Well, football is life, and I have a T-shirt that says that. But I think that I believe I have my team, but I don't believe in second favorite teams.
You
I
can
don't think.
still notice other teams and like, hey, that team's kind of pretty.
Well,
But
sure,
you're not going to
yes,
date that team.
that's fine, but I don't think you could have like a depth chart of other teams. I think that
Sure, you can.
you know.
You hate teams. You like other teams.
Well, yeah,
more than
hey,
others. You absolutely have a depth chart. You do.
yes, but not like a thing where like it's like the Cardinals are my second favorite team. The Seahawks are my, like I don't think
What's
that is
so
okay.
wrong with that? I mean,
I
as
just
long
know
as, as long as
it's
the
just-
Texans are your first
It's
favorite
just
team.
not my belief. I believe it should be the Texans, and then there's teams that you.
Well, it shouldn't
want
be
to see.
a tier ranking. It's because if
Yeah.
you're dating someone, it shouldn't be like,
Why is it
hey,
always going
this
back to
person,
that?
this person's the
Now
next
you're-
hottest
now you're not
besides
okay
you,
with these.
and then it's this
What?
person.
Now you're not okay with these. other
Yeah,
people.
okay.
but like if you're dating someone, you shouldn't be like, okay, this girl is like the next hottest next to the person I'm dating, and then it's this girl. It should be like, no, these people are like, oh yeah, they're kind of
Yeah, your previous thing made
It
more
shouldn't
sense.
be exact like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yes,
7.
yes.
But
Again,
it's just
These things don't
I named
correlate
3 teams.
Exactly.
I mean, he kind of has a point. Again, this is getting really off topic, but again, whatever you feel, if you feel, yeah, if you feel it's acceptable to wear another team's jersey, something like I've seen him wear like a Drew Brees jersey, he really likes Drew Brees. That's fine. There's players that I like to watch on other teams, but I just don't believe it's appropriate for me as a Texans fan to wear a garment of another team. Again, it's everyone has a right to their opinion. They can express their passion for their teams in whichever way they see fit. We have no bad blood here, so yeah. I mean, there's
I will be buying an Antoine Winfield jersey.
yeah. I get like
As,
okay.
as soon as I know he's not changed his number,
Yeah.
I will most likely be buying an Antoine Winfield.
And that
jersey.
makes sense. Yeah, and that makes sense. Like we'll say like
it's a player. It's not
Yeah.
necessarily I'm buying a Bucks jersey because I like the Bucks. It's
yeah.
Antoine Winfield because I like Antoine.
But yeah, like I will say,
Which,
take
by the
like,
way, Bears had a chance to draft him and mess it up.
a lot of teams did. But
You got
say
cold though.
you did. Say like a guy that
Rookie
I
season,
yeah,
so like
yeah,
Oklahoma.
like a guy that I really liked from the draft. Well, there's a couple. We'll say Rashad Bateman. Like if he turns out to be really good, which he will, I still, even though I liked him before the draft, I still don't think it'd be appropriate for me to wear his jersey. I think I could want him to do well when he's not playing my team, but
It's not like he wear his jersey when he's playing the Bears.
I get it's I'm not saying we are all very devoted
Okay,
NFL fans.
Let's
here.
get into specific scenarios here because I think it does depend on the scenario
I'm gonna
when
cut
you're wearing
this
the
out and make
jersey.
a video. This is
Because-
interesting.
Because as Tyler said, if you're watching your team, let's just say you're watching your team play against where'd Bateman go? The
Ravens.
Ravens. If the Texans are playing the Ravens,
Yeah,
and you're wearing a Bateman jersey, that's
that is
that's
sinful.
adultery against your team.
That is sports adultery.
yes, exactly. That,
We need
that-
to make, we need to make a Bible.
It's kind of like when you're in fantasy football and the wide receivers playing against your team and these.
But you always cheer
and
for
you're
the
like,
team.
oh,
you
but you're like,
always
at least it's
cheer for
fantasy
the team.
points.
No,
Yeah.
you could have that silver lining, but the team comes first.
absolutely.
The
Team comes first.
NFL team.
I
comes
think on
first.
any given Sunday where your team is playing, you should not be wearing any other player besides someone on your team's jersey.
I don't think that's I think that's obvious.
Yes. And maybe like if you're going to a football party, then I feel like if you have
Bring out
a
your
Drew
old
Brees
L
jersey,
your Drew
if you
Brees
have
jersey.
like a cool jersey, a Tom Brady jersey or something, you're going to a football party, like maybe it's a pizza party after your season for fantasy football, or maybe it's a draft, or maybe it's just
But you
A
have you
football
already
team
have
party.
jerseys of your team though.
you can't. Yeah, but like I mean you could come in a David Montgomery jersey, or you could come in a Drew Brees jersey. Like just you could try to mix things up. I don't think there's anything wrong with it.
Again, everyone's entitled to express their passion.
And it's like deep into off season, and you're going to you're going to play football with your friends. You want to throw on a jersey, and you're already going to be a designated quarterback. I see no problem with
Yeah.
you wearing a Drew Brees jersey.
And look, my philosophy is, and this is me personally, I'm not trying to impose this on other people. I just believe that unless there's like some special circumstance or weird thing where like maybe you're, I don't know, a weird exception, but I just believe that for me, I should only be wearing Texans shirts and jerseys. And I have more than enough Texans shirts and jerseys. Some of them are getting small on me now. to be
Yeah, I
able to
think
do
there's a
that.
difference between shirts and jerseys here, and I know this is kind of
We're really-
it
we're
seems
really-
weird, but if you're wearing a player's
I
jersey,
feel like a shirt shows more devotion to the team.
exactly. That's what I was gonna say. If you're wearing someone's jersey, it could be like, I like this player. They're maybe on my fantasy team, or I like him for a specific reason. I like Drew Brees just because he's a good dude. I met him, and so that's why I kind of like him. That's why I have his jersey. But I'm not going to go around wearing a Saints gear around. Although I do like the Saints. That they're another team on that list that
They're on the list.
for sure. Yeah. But I think wearing a T-shirt or any other thing besides a jersey shows more commitment to the team, and therefore that's kind of more of a crime. Whereas wearing someone specific jersey
Crime. I
probably
like
because
it. I
originally
like
you
it.
like them,
Yeah.
I don't think that's much of an offense. I think you could go to court for that, but I think you're going to win that. You're going to win that argument. I think there's going to be a tough prosecution.
Let's talk about this maybe because a couple of years back I would wear a Raiders
Yeah, I was just about to
shirt
say
all
that.
the time.
Yeah.
And it wasn't. I just really liked the
There's
Raiders.
one
that
incident
year.
where I remember you wearing a Raiders shirt down here.
I don't know exactly what you're talking
I
about.
think you were right over there by the stairs.
Not quite sure what exactly you're talking about.
Oh, I
Maybe
remember.
Ryan knows, but I'm not sure.
Wait.
But I'm just saying the point is I would wear it pretty often just because the Raiders were a team that I really liked at that time. Obviously, I liked the Bears better, and I was not as committed as a football fan as I was now. This was multiple years ago at this point.
I think it was 2018, maybe.
So, yeah, 3 years
Maybe,
ago.
I don't know. Maybe the exact
But
time.
I mean, I don't think it's terrible. It's not like I'm rocking the shirt. If someone asks, you Raiders fan, I'm gonna say, heck no. I'm a Bears fan. I just wear the Raiders shirt because they're a team that I liked. I really liked Derek Carr that year. So that was the reason why I got that.
Yeah, again,
shirt.
that's fine. That's your choice. I wouldn't do that, but again, it's not like, oh, he's not a. I know we all are very devoted football fans and love our teams a lot. That's just not something that I would consider appropriate for myself, but that's fine. Everyone has a right when it comes to this, sports rituals and fandom protocols. Everyone has a right to do it how they see fit. Like I know people who are Bears fans that wear Cam Newton jerseys and Melvin Gordon jerseys. Like it's fine.
Well, any person who's wearing a Cam Newton
Okay, well,
jersey
you know
is
what I
committing
mean,
a crime,
yeah.
So we'll just stop there.
All right, yeah.
I think we can just agree to disagree. at
And
this
then, no,
point.
that's what I've been
Everyone
saying.
has their different
That's what I've been
opinions, so
saying
maybe
from the
let's move
beginning.
on and get back to
Don't
the
wear T-shirts
award
of other
stuff.
teams, though. That's the lesson you can take from this.
And everyone buy an Antoine Winfield jersey.
No.
All right.
I think it's okay if you get me if I get
my water bottle.
if I get like a Bateman jersey, because in a couple of years when he's on the Ravens and he's really good, like I knew he would be, I think it's okay to frame it because I just kind of feel like a keepsake and souvenir that I would allow, but I don't think that I should ever be wearing the garment representing another team unless there's special circumstances or something else that makes it a unique setting. But we'll put this to rest. If anyone has any thoughts on this kind of unexpected debate, that's what we get into here a lot. Some interesting comparisons between football and other things in life, like we so often have. But I think we'll put this conversation to rest for the rest of the live stream, at least for a while, as you make it very clear you're pouring water over there. So I don't know what other comments we have or what, but let's get into
No other
something else.
comments at this point.
All right.
So let's get back to the what we did defensive player before, and now let's do maybe offensive player of the year. So let's say let's just go right now. Who do we think should be the offensive player of the year next year?
Your mom.
My mom is also.
That's awkward.
Yeah, let's give us some time to think about it at this point.
Sorry, I just really like the question that came in here. Well, that's right. I don't think any of you guys understand this question. David Garza said, thoughts on Spencer James. You know who Spencer James is? Nope. Spencer James. You know Spencer James?
No.
You don't know Spencer James. You know Coach Baker?
That was this from it's from the show.
It is from a show.
I don't watch many shows.
All American.
It is from All American. It's a football show.
Okay.
And Spencer James, great player. Love Spencer James. Love All American. Great show. New season is coming out at the end of the month, and so excited about that. What about my boy Darnell? We're not talking about Darnell Mooney, who I love a lot, anyways, but Darnell from All American. Oh yes, Darnell is great too. He is my boy Darnell. I also like Corey, but Corey is dead now.
Spoiler.
Oops, my bad.
Why do you watch it?
No, I'm just saying.
Okay.
But you don't really find out who Corey is, anyways, until later. But yeah, he's gone. But
Sorry, Corey.
it's unfortunate. He's their dad.
That's well. I think we can get back
His
to the
death is kinda
offensive.
weird too. But okay.
We can get back to the offensive player of the year now. So if you guys are ready, go ahead and list off some names if you have any.
I think you got to throw in obviously the top quarterbacks. You got to throw out Patrick Mahomes. You got to throw out Josh Allen, Aaron Rodgers into that discussion. Obviously, you look at running backs. That's usually like because usually
I'm gonna take Dalvin Cook.
Dalvin Cook. I was actually just about to mention him. Alvin Kamara, maybe. Derrick Henry, even though we mentioned the Titans might pass more this year, still will probably be in the running for that for sure. And then I don't know, maybe it goes to a top receiver. Maybe it goes to Devontae Adams or DeAndre Hopkins. I think this is an award where there's really a lot of ways you can go when it comes to predicting it.
Also, Justin Fields.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure where I'd go with this one. I think one that I would think about would be Josh Allen.
For sure.
Just from what we saw from him last year. I'd also like to throw in Dak Prescott's name. I know coming off the injury, that's a bit of a risky one to say, but I really believe he can bounce back in a big way for the Cowboys. And like I said, I already think they're going to be a good team. We could talk about maybe a Julio Jones or an A.J. Brown now that something happened with that combination. I don't think it's something I would legitimately say, but it's something to throw into a conversation.
You never know.
But for me, I think I would go right now, just thinking about it, not exactly confirming it. I would say Josh Allen, based off what we saw last year. Still has Stephon Diggs with them. Going to the second year with that relationship is going to be something that we get to see grow even more. And I think it's going to be in a great way for Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs. But Josh Allen going to get a lot of production. It's going to get him Offensive Player of the Year, tentatively in my mind, not confirmed.
Yeah, I mean, I think we'll probably do like a more formal video for this
Yes.
stuff and for our division predictions again later on. That'll probably be later June into early July. We'll probably do a lot of those videos for you. So again, not official, but right now I would just go with Dalvin Cook.
Yeah, I'm gonna stick with Dalvin.
Okay.
I got two more comments here.
go ahead.
David said Darnell Mooney. Love Darnell Mooney. I think he's gonna look great. Got a question from Kristen Sojets. She said, "What NFL stadium would you like to visit?" Love this question.
That's a good question.
That is a great question.
So let's take this question and make it into a video format right now. So
Okay.
thank you for this question. What stadiums would we like to visit? I think we said last stream we said
Yeah.
where we would put new teams. So this is something
Yeah.
kind of different.
Well, how about first we all say? I mean, for you two, same.
Where we've
you guys
gone.
say where you've been to. I'll say where
Yes.
we've been to, and then we'll say new places where we'd like to visit.
Okay.
Soldier
Jordan,
Field, which is the Bears Stadium, and we've been to Lambeau Field, Packers Stadium. That's a good one. That's one that's on a lot of fans' bucket lists. Been to Nissan Stadium. That's the Titan Stadium in Nashville, great city. And we've been to the Panthers Stadium, which I'm blanking
Bank
on
of
the-
America.
Bank of
Bank of
America
America.
Stadium in Charlotte, North Carolina. Charlotte's a nice little city. It was bigger than I expected, actually. And so those are the stadiums that the two of us have been to. Ryan?
Yeah. So I have been to Soldier Field, Lambeau Field, Lucas Oil Stadium a ton. That's a wonderful stadium. Jaguar. What is the Jaguar Stadium even called? I think they've changed. Is it like
We're
TI?
doing that
Jaguar
Jaguar Stadium.
2015 in October.
I'll look it up.
And then the Texans Stadium. I think
Yeah.
yeah. So Bears, Packers, Colts, Jaguars, Texans Stadium. So five.
TIAA.
TIAA
Bank.
Bank, yeah. The scoreboard there was really nice. It was huge. So yeah, those are all the ones that I've been to. So yeah, now that we've said the ones we've been to, I'm just trying to make sure I didn't forget. I don't think I did. I drove past the Titan Stadium, but that's irrelevant. So now some stadiums that we have not been to that we would like to visit.
Yeah, I'm laughing at these comments. I'm loving them right now. But we'll answer this question first. This is a tough one. And I think there's one that comes to mind here. There's so many cool stadiums. There's more that just came to my mind here.
Yeah.
Okay, there's another one. I got three. Okay, first one is they renamed it, and I forgot what the name was, but it's the Seahawks Stadium. It starts with an L.
Lumen Field.
Lumen Field. Yes. I think just because it gets so loud in there, that'd be a fun environment to be in. I think that's on a lot of football fans' bucket list. So I think that's number one. And then there's SoFi Stadium, which is the
good
new
one.
one, the Rams Stadium, which would just be an absolute gem to go there and see that. I think that
And
would
the
be
Chargers Stadium.
really
Did you say
fun.
that?
Chargers, yeah, I missed that.
It looks like
the
the
one,
Rams
the
logo.
one in Los Angeles. That'd be a really cool one to go to. And then Legion Stadium as well, the Raiders' new stadium. Just the new ones would be really cool to go to. Those ones are kind of the two
What's
obvious
the
ones.
Mercedes Stadium, the Falcons one.
Mercedes, yeah, the Mercedes Stadium. Yeah,
Yeah.
That
That'd be
one's
a cool one,
that's
too.
newer too. That would be cool to go to.
Yeah.
Jordan, all the ones you said were ones I as well.
Yeah.
I'd
Just trying to
probably
think of more down low ones that would be
I'd probably
cool to go.
pick.
I want to go to Lucas Oil. just
That
'cause
is a great one.
I'm sure I'll end
Yeah.
up in NYC.
Yeah. Lucas Oil is a nice stadium, and that is nice. Everything's really close
Yeah,
together.
we were there the other day.
Oh, you were in?
Yeah, we
We
didn't go.
saw the stadium. We
Okay,
drove past
okay.
it. We didn't go to
Okay.
in Lucas Oil.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
But yeah,
Which are good.
Indianapolis is
trying to
a
think of
nice
some
town.
other-
Some good
some-
restaurants too.
what they're called.
I want to go to the Viking
random
Stadium.
Oh yeah.
Maybe get involved in the school a little bit, cheat on the team just.
You
for
are
fun.
someone that
I,
hates the
again, I
Vikings.
don't allow that.
I'd have to get involved in the school. I mean, I do it when I'm watching. It's just so fun.
I mean, I understand why you would want to do that. That would be
That'd be
just like 2 of these, and then you're done.
okay.
Just two
Again,
schools.
everyone's entitled to their own opinion.
You're
but
going to the Viking Stadium, you have to do the school.
just like if I went to the Chiefs Stadium, I do.
Oh, that's a good one. Arrowhead
And
would
then
be
I
a good
also
one.
do home of the Chiefs.
yeah,
And
like
that's
I
it.
yeah.
It's just too iconic. That's another one, by the way.
Yeah, like, I was-
no, I'm choosing Arrowhead. That's why I wanted.
Like I was thinking of like Arrowhead Stadium and stuff, but then I'm like, if I'm gonna go to a stadium, like I'm gonna see my team play there. Like I want to see my team win, but again, I don't know if we're gonna beat a lot of people no matter where we play this year.
I think I'm picking Arrowhead.
Arrowhead would be definitely a good one. The Texans play in Cleveland week 2, so if I could somehow work some magic and get us there, although I doubt it. You never know. You know, maybe tie college visit into that trip somehow. I mean, my strategy is to try and tie in college visits to sports
I'm
stadiums.
thinking
To
ahead
sport.
already.
I know.
Your parents
I'm
might
very
be
open about
watching
that.
now. They know your strategy.
No, they knew that. They knew that.
Right.
Yeah. Like we're going to visit Missouri, and then we're going to a White Sox Royals game. So again, there's always a ulterior. Not always. A lot of times there's like an extra motive for certain things I do. A lot of people will say that, and that's
Yeah,
fine.
that's true.
But yeah, would love to visit First Energy Stadium in
Gillette
Cleveland.
Stadium also.
Gillette Stadium would be good.
I got one that I think this is the one I'm going to choose.
oh,
Mercedes-Benz Superdome.
That one would
Yeah.
be good to be a
First
part
of all,
of.
that's the stadium
That's
is
up
just cool,
there.
but it's all location. I really want to go to Louisiana.
New Orleans.
I really want to go to New Orleans. That seems like somewhere that would be.
Yeah, seems like
super
a fun
cool.
town.
And I'd like to go there not only for the city, but to see that stadium. I mean,
I think that
just
might
knowing
be
how loud it
number
gets
2.
in there.
Yeah, we're gonna
That's
end up
where I would
naming
go.
like every stadium.
I'm gonna stop there and
I'll
just
give my
say that.
tier. Okay, I'm gonna go Arrowhead Stadium, the Superdome, and then SoFi Stadium.
Okay, I gotta take top.
I just chose
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, okay, I'm gonna do
Superdome.
top 3.
Also, AT&T.
Yeah, top. I was
That's
gonna say
good.
that top 3 in no particular order. As far as taking out like
Mm.
where teams play when, like just talking about the stadium itself. Like obviously, it's like, oh, maybe I could somehow go to see the Texans play the Browns because maybe make that work out me too. I'm taking convenience and the Texans out of it. Just the stadium itself, in no particular order. My top 3 are probably Arrowhead, SoFi, and I'm gonna go with Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas.
Okay. I'm just gonna go with the one still,
Yeah.
just because
There are many others.
I'm
though,
more
that I
on that one.
really
So,
wanna
any
see.
other things you want to throw out there about that before you answer David's questions?
I'm just trying to think of my stadium.
Well, okay, what's favorite stadium you've been to?
Heinz?
How about that? Heinz
Yeah,
Field. What about
yeah.
favorite stadium you've been to?
In terms of stadium itself, I would say in terms of experience, I'm gonna start with that. I really like Lambeau Field. The stadium itself is not very luxurious.
Yeah,
So I don't even know. I mean, I feel like we haven't gone to the ones where the stadiums itself are awesome.
yeah. Again, that's just what we've been to, so not a huge sample size.
Overall,
obviously.
I would say my first time at going to Lambeau was probably the best.
Yeah, Lambeau's cool because of the history, but if you take like the actual stadium itself, and this might just
Well-
be biased because I've been there a lot, I think Lucas Oil Stadium is the best stadium. If you're taking the stadium itself, history is irrelevant, team is irrelevant.
Yeah.
Obviously, I probably had the best time going to a home Texans game, which was really cool to finally be a fan of. The home team, and you see there's actually like people surrounding you wearing Texans jerseys, and you're not just some random kid in the suburbs of Chicago wearing a Texans shirt. That was a really fun experience. But in terms of the actual stadium itself, I think Lucas Oil is the best. It's got a little bit of everything, and yeah, certainly a fun one to visit. And I've gotten to know it quite well over the past 6 years.
Just based off stadium, I'd have to say Packers, just because it's so
Yeah.
iconic. But experience in general, just being in the,
Yeah, like
the
experience,
cities
yeah.
and stuff. We had a really awesome experience getting to see some players, and I got signed Roquan Smith gloves, which was like a dream. That was like one of the coolest days of my life. So it was a great experience.
I didn't
Went
get
to
it.
Nashville.
Got a
Love
Bears win though.
Nashville.
That's all I needed.
Huge country music fan. Loved
That's
Nashville. Great city. Bears ended up losing the game against the Titans pretty badly too, but that
Still,
was
Was it like
fantastic
24-17?
it got close.
It-
How do I know this? It was like 24-3, and then I think
It got ugly
Desmond
for a
King had
while.
a touchdown that game.
He did,
He's on
yes,
the, he's on the Texans.
Yes. And then
Oh, I had the Titans defense in fantasy in that game. That's why.
Yeah, that's fine.
Soldier Field.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
Let's end it there talking about the stadiums. Thank you, Kristen Stojets, for that question.
Good question.
We got a good,
And
some
thank you
good
for your
answers
support.
out of it.
Yes.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Jordan, go ahead and read off David's.
Okay. This is This is great.
Jordan's the only one that can answer this because it's out of Ryan and myself.
I mentioned earlier that I like disc golf, huge disc golfer myself. Love watching the professionals play disc golf. David Garza, who plays disc golf with me, he has thoughts on Paul McBeth. Now I'm not going to go into it too long here because there's probably no one besides me and him that know anything about disc golf here. If you do, I love you. But thoughts on Paul McBeth? I love Paul McBeth. I think he's the guy that every tournament I'm rooting for him to win. I love all the disc golfers, so anyone who wins, I'm always happy about. I hate no one, but Paul is probably the guy that I just like the most, just because I mean he's like the one of the better ones, and I think he struggled earlier on in this season. I think he picked it up in the tournament that happened today. There was their last day. I think he was down 4 strokes to Eagle McMahon, and pulling back to only losing by 1. And so that was good. I'll love to see that from Paul McBeth. I think he's playing the best disc golf of his season right now. He's the guy that I probably root for over everyone else, like I said, but I love them all. Don't want to hate on anyone. So I love Paul. I love everyone else. And congratulations to Eagle McMahon on winning the tournament, the Portland Open, and roughing through the weird situation. And also Kevin Jones, who Tyler knows, one of the Tyler's favorite guys. He had a shot in that one, had a rough full 15. Had a rough full 15, and kind of his round fell apart, which is sad to see because I would have loved to see Kevin win as well. But I think he'll get one soon. He's had a good last 2 tournaments. Love Paul McBeth. Also, David Garza with another one said, disc golf table coming soon. Obviously, we're called the touchdown table. Yeah. And David, you know that I would be down to talk about disc golf with you any day. Love talking about professionals. Love talking about myself playing it, even though not as good as I want to be. But you know,
you guys can start an off-brand channel in which Ryan and I will not be participating.
That would be so fun.
Yeah. I do enjoy. I don't play it nearly as you. You're out there like probably like every day. Yeah. But I when I do play it, I do enjoy it. I think it's a fun little thing to do.
This golf table would just be so fun.
All right, let's get back to football again. We were doing the awards. Let's get back to it. Let's go to Offensive Rookie of the Year.
Oh, this is easy.
And yeah, it'll be an interesting one to start off with. Ryan thinks it'll be easy, so let's talk about
I mean,
it.
for me to pick.
Yeah. Who do you guys think it's gonna be? Ryan, you seem pretty confident, so we'll let you start off with it.
Rashad Bateman.
It was coming.
I think you guys probably know that you guys. Oh, you want me to explain it? Okay.
So we're gonna put this in the format. So
so putting this in video format. Yeah. So I'll talk about Rashad Bateman. He was the 6th player, not in my receiver rankings, not my offensive player rankings, on my big board. I was just blown away watching him on tape. I just think he is built for the NFL. I think he was the best receiver of anyone in this 2021 draft class.
Right, David. Sorry.
So I just can't wait to see him in Baltimore. I think that he's going to be the number 1 receiver on that team, not Sammy Watkins, not Tylan Wallace, although those guys are nice additions too, not Marquise Brown either. But I think Bateman's going to be the guy in Baltimore. He just checks all the boxes, everything you look for in a prototype NFL receiver he has. He can run routes, he can be fast, he can get open. Like, honestly, like...
He's plus 4,000.
Well, hey, never know. I mean, I don't know. We'll look into the rest of the betting odds later. I mean, who knows? Maybe
he's a 16th down, so it's not awful.
Yeah, I mean, it makes it sound better.
I mean, that's probably what you'd expect him to be based off of where he was drafted.
Yeah.
Well, my problem with it is who's the quarterback throwing to him?
Is
he going to be able to put up production enough to win Offensive Rookie of the Year?
I really think he will. Why would they get 3 new receivers if they didn't want to throw the ball more?
I think they will throw the ball more. I'm just thinking the capability of it. Is it gonna be able to help Rashad Bateman get those numbers?
I think you watch him in college, like he just gets open. Like, it doesn't even matter some of the times. Like, he can make the contested catches in the 50-50 balls. That's another thing. He can be a red zone threat.
The ball's gotta be there.
The ball's like if there's times where he's just wide open in the middle of the field, and it's like the game where Minnesota played Penn State. I'm like, why are you that open? Like, you're the number 1 receiver. Like, he just has a knack for the open field. He runs his routes well. He knows what he's supposed to do each and every play. He is just that NFL ready guy. So again, it's bold. It's surprising. I think he was the best receiver of this class. I think he's going to be the Justin Jefferson of this class, where, Justin Jefferson, people were like, oh, yeah, he's good. He'll probably be a first rounder. But no one, and at least very few people, thought Justin Jefferson was the number 1 receiver of the 2020 draft class.
We were all high on him at this
we were like, I think I had him 3rd in my rankings, and that turned out to be low. But yeah, I think Bateman will be the guy that turns out to be the Justin Jefferson of this class in terms of production and in terms of people looking back on it and saying, wow, he should have been the number one receiver, and really no one had it, except in that case, I would have had it because I'm telling you right now, I do. So yeah, Rashad Bateman for the reasons I just said and more. I'm just so excited to watch him at the next level. I know he's going to do great things and hopefully make life easier for Lamar, who finally does have some legit receivers.
Yeah, for me, legitimately, I'd probably just say go boring with Trevor Lawrence, but I learned a lesson from last year.
That's not how the NFL works.
And that is that the number one overall quarterback, can't win it because
Also,
something's
Joe
going to go
Burrow got
wrong.
hurt last year.
And so you have to pick technically Justin Herbert was the third. So if I'm picking the third quarterback off the board, I'm picking Justin Fields. Hey, but I'm
No,
actually
you're not.
no, I'm
He
not.
was not the third
Not-
quarterback.
His name on it.
But
Who you
I
picking?
don't think Trey Lance will play this. I'm gonna pick Zach Wilson
That's
just
a
for
good
this live stream because he has the ability to make some really good plays, have a really good season, and if something happens with Trevor Lawrence, it's kind of like the backup thing. I think that he could have a Justin Herbert type season. Also, of course, Justin Fields is go.
Yeah.
And I
We
don't
just got
think we'll
another
see Trey Lance
subscriber
play.
during this, by the way. So
Oh,
thank you
to whoever you
subscribed.
are. Yeah. And also, Zach Wilson, he's gone to a couple New York Islanders playoff games, and the Islanders have won both.
Yes.
So-
I think they bring like the whole squad every time.
Yeah, who else?
There's like
is in
another
squad?
game?
Yeah.
No, it's like
The
who
squad
they
in
bring
New
like
York?
some of the younger players
Yeah.
from the Jets.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, they have a good time there. I've seen some videos; they're having fun, and yeah, the Islanders are
Yeah.
still
The
going.
pictures
They're
that I've
tied 2-2.
seen, it's like all the big linemen and all the guys looking like they're having fun. And Zach Wilson's just like standing there, like, oh.
Maybe he just doesn't know that.
He posted a video yesterday. He looked like he was.
Yeah,
having a good time.
playoff hockey
Into that.
games are awesome atmospheres. Especially if you're at a playoff hockey game, it's awesome. But even
Okay.
just watching a
Bold
playoff hockey game,
prediction
it's
here.
something else.
I think that if your team's playing in playoff hockey,
Oh yeah, you mentioned. Yeah.
then I think that is more intense and more fun than if your team's playing in NFL in the NFL playoffs. And that disregards this.
I would say a game 7 of hockey.
Oh my god, game 7 of even overtime playoff hockey. Like that's like so scary. Like anytime
Yeah.
the puck gets into one of these zones, you're like it's borderline not
Let's
enjoyable.
just,
but
let's,
it's so
let's
scary.
just a game where if a team wins, it's over.
I
Doesn't have to
think-
be a game 7.
if we're comparing game 7, okay.
Game-
how
I
we-
just
Let's
love
move past
game
this
7s.
quickly. So I
Game
still
7.
didn't even mind.
Oh yeah. We're getting sidetracked again.
Man, that's a tough one to debate here. We'll get to it.
Playoff
Yeah, we'll
hockey
get to it in a
is just
second.
awesome.
But let's go back to Zach Wilson because that's exactly who I'm picking. It's not much of a surprise. If you've been following this channel, I think Zach Wilson is the best quarterback in
Can
this
we count
draft
Tim
class.
Tebow in this?
He's not a rookie.
I mean,
He's played in the
a
NFL
Rookie for his
before.
position. But no, Zach Wilson to me, I know you can look at it and say the lack of weapons could be a problem. They got Elijah Moore, who Jordan likes
yes.
this year as well. So, but that definitely is an issue. I think we're going to see the talent come out from Zach Wilson this year. In year number 1, I want to pick a quarterback that's going to play the entire season. They're the only two that we know are going to play the entire season, barring injuries, are Trevor Lawrence and Zach Wilson. Right now, those two are already the announced starters, and for good reason. I would go with Trevor Lawrence, but personally, I don't think he's going to be good enough to win it anyways. He's not even my number 1 quarterback in this draft class. So I'm going to have to go with Zach Wilson. It's probably not much of a surprise to you guys, or as well as you guys watching, because you probably heard me talk about Zach Wilson before. We're going to see everything from college be translated right away. And like I said, maybe the wide receivers won't be there, but look at the offensive line that's helping him out now. They got some good guys, especially on the left side. Is that where
I think.
is that where
That's how-
Becton and Veritek
Yeah.
are?
I think that's where it will be.
So just roll out to your left.
Yeah.
and throw the ball.
There you go.
So I really think Zach Wilson is someone that has a huge chance to win it, and I could lock that one in and say unless he gets hurt, he's the guy I'm picking. Zach Wilson.
Now back to hockey versus NFL
Yeah.
playoffs here.
I gotta check
And
my
so
scores again.
I was thinking about this while Tyler was talking. Really wasn't listening to him, but what else is new? And so I think in an elimination game in playoff hockey and a playoff football game, unless it's the Super Bowl, I think if your team is in that game for the elimination game in hockey and you're on the verge of being
Oh, wow.
eliminated, that is a lot more. I mean, either way, it's intense, but that's a lot more intense
Yeah.
than watching your team play in the playoffs. And the Bears have done it twice. One time I thought they were going to win against the Eagles. The other time I had almost no hope of when they played the Saints last year. So I just think it's a lot more intense. I think it's really fun and nothing. I mean, we love football, but there's just something about playoff hockey that is just so awesome.
Yeah, and another thing about playoff hockey is the upsets. Like especially this year. Like I'm just looking at hockey scores right now. The Montreal Canadiens were the 4 seed in the North Division. This year there was a weird format. They divided it into new divisions. All the Canadian teams were in a division. So 4 teams from your division made the playoffs. Montreal was the 4th team, the 4 seed from their division. They came back from 3-1 down in the series to beat Toronto, which we're not going to go there, but was not happy about that for certain reasons. And then now they have taken a 3-0 lead on the Winnipeg Jets in the second round. So Montreal putting together a little Cinderella run, as they are 1 win away from. They are. The Jets swept the first round, and now they're on the verge of getting swept by Montreal. So playoff hockey, the intensity, the upsets, it's just truly a sport.
It's a great
setting. It is, and it's like no other.
And I've been to a couple.
Yeah,
I've been to a couple playoff hockey games.
I've been to
as a Blackhawks fan.
Yeah,
a fan. It's awesome.
It is. Oh my god! And even just hockey games in general.
No, hockey games I love.
Yeah, especially like I can't wait to be at a hockey
Even
game.
if I'm comparing like how much fun a hockey game is to a football game, and I know each football game is a lot more important than each hockey game.
Yeah.
But something about Blackhawks. We're all Blackhawks fans here. They have great fans, the great environment at the United Center.
Can't wait
just
to be
in
back
general. That I can't wait to go back. I know. So that's awesome, but just the experience, it is just so fun to be at hockey games. I love hockey.
Yeah, and even just thinking back to last year when they were in the playoff bubble and the Blackhawks had the play-in thing, and then that was so fun. Like I remember we were like my family and some of my extended family. We were in Michigan and we rented a house up there, and that's when we were up there for like a week, and that's when it was like beginning of August, so right when the play-in tournament started. And I remember I think it was game 3 against the Oilers. It was like 3-3, and I think we scored with like a minute and change left in the third period, and it's like Eastern time, and the game was like a late game anyway, so it's like 1 a.m. everyone's asleep, and I like start jumping up and down, running around, and my mom's up there watching it with me, and she's like, wait, no, everyone's sleeping, slow down. So I just did like a awkward silent jump and run around the kitchen thing, and then we ended up beating the Oilers. We were a 12 seed, the Oilers was a 5 seed, and I mean, as Blackhawks fans, we kind of had that spread. Then we lost to Vegas. And Vegas won 5-1 today. They're tied 2-2 in their series with the Avalanche. But yeah, Vegas beat us pretty easily in 5 games. But it was certainly very fun watching playoff hockey.
Yeah, and just
we will next year. We will
hockey,
next year. We will have playoff hockey in Chicago next year. No, I know so.
Yeah.
I'm
Comparing
not
playoff
asking you, I'm telling
hockey
you.
to NFL playoffs.
That statement usually doesn't.
Yeah.
Correct.
It's just kind of different because when you're in NHL playoffs, you basically, except for elimination games, you have another game to look forward to.
Yeah.
As in NFL playoffs, you kind of like, this could be it.
Yeah.
But I still feel like just for some reason NHL brings you a different thrill.
It's faster. It doesn't slow down as much. It's constant, and it's always once you're in that
You're
playoff
always on your
setting,
toes.
it gets
Absolutely,
more intense. But
you know.
for me, I think football it always is going to beat all in my mind. So I would disagree with what you say, but I see what you're trying to say.
Yeah, I mean, football is like
I mean, if my team's in the Super Bowl, I'm gonna have a heart attack.
Oh gosh,
I'm nervous watching the Super Bowl.
Either
when
way,
my teams aren't even in.
Yeah, and just like
Either
when the
way,
team
most
runs out of the
likely
tunnel,
tears will come out of my eyes. If we lose, there'll be some tears.
I think even if you win,
If we win, there will be even more tears.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I mean, I don't even know if the Texans ever win a Super Bowl in my lifetime, that will be something.
I'm not one to
Very special.
try and hide the fact that I would be super upset if my team lost in the Super
Oh
Bowl.
god, yeah.
Or
I
cry of happiness if my team
I
won.
probably wouldn't be here for the
That's
next 2 months if
sports.
my team lost in the Super Bowl. So have fun if the Texans lose in the Super Bowl, but they're not getting anywhere near there.
Yeah.
So.
Other scenarios where that could possibly play out as well.
Yeah.
But we don't need to get into those. Anyways, back to the let's go to the defensive rookie of the year. We did offensive rookie of the year. So you guys ready? I am ready to go with this one.
I mean,
Who do you guys
you
think?
both know mine. So someone
Defensive
else
rookie of the year. Let's just start with Ryan since he's going to say Quiddy Pay.
Yeah, I say
So
Quiddy
go
Pay,
ahead
yeah.
and explain it.
Again, a player that I was really high on in the pre-draft process. Number 1 defensive end for sure. Jalen Phillips is a solid second though, but Quiddy Pay really is on a tier of his own in my opinion. He got in a great situation with Indianapolis. I was happy for him, but upset for myself because as a Texans fan, seeing one of your favorite players go to your rival team, it's pretty bittersweet. But excited to watch him play. I'll hopefully get to see him, in person maybe if I'm fortunate enough to go to Indianapolis again when the Texans play there in week 6, I believe. So I just love what he brings, the consistency, the effort, the drive, the motor. He just has, again, like I said about Bateman, everything you look for a guy for his position at the NFL level. And again, I always say this about him. Even if he doesn't, get a sack or force fumble, you can tell he's always giving his opposing linemen when he's in one-on-one matchups a hard time. Even when he's playing Alabama, if he's running against, say, Alex Leatherwood, you could tell that he's giving Alex Leatherwood fits and that it's not an easy task blocking him. Just the way he plays the game, the effort he does not take a play off. I just think he really set
First
himself.
rounder, Alex Leatherwood, too.
Yes, first rounder Alex Leatherwood because the Raiders did their thing. I think that even when Kwity Paye was playing against some of the best lines in the nation, he still made an impact. And I think that he is a guy that is NFL ready. He's playing for a great team in Indianapolis, tons of defensive talent around him, great defensive coordinator, great coach, great environment, great city. Again, sad as a Texans fan to see him go to Indianapolis, but again, it will be cool to potentially watch him in person this year if I'm fortunate enough to do that again. Or even if just to see him have success in Indianapolis, just hopefully not when he's playing for the Texans.
Jordan, are you
that's
ready?
my pick.
I'm not ready now.
Okay, I guess I'm gonna go, and I'm going really off
I
script
knew it.
here. This is a guy that was drafted 100
Yep.
overall in the draft, but I think is a top 15 player in this draft, and I honestly don't understand how he fell this far. And I know I've seen guys that would agree with me. I didn't even know Chris Sims agreed with me until after the draft, but he was with me. Elijah Molden, cornerback / safety. I don't know what the Titans are going to do with him.
I'm going to look up their depth chart real quick.
He is a very, very talented player. Played at Washington. Someone that really popped out to me. Really wasn't really looking for him, but once I started watching him more and more, he was just someone where I did not want to stop watching. It was like 3 a.m. in the morning, and usually at that point, I'm like, I want to go to bed. I'm tired of watching film. But when I was watching Elijah Molden, I was like, I could stay up all night and just keep watching.
Yeah.
It was so fun to watch him. The guy is so explosive. He's really good at tackling. Seems to be a good leader. Seems to be a good person as well from what I know. Don't know him personally, but I really think he could be someone like we saw with Darius Leonard multiple years back at this point now, where he's someone in those later rounds. I think Darius Leonard was in the second
He's
round.
listed as a corner on ESPN on the depth chart.
That
but
makes
we'll see.
sense. But probably a nickel corner would be my guess as to where they would throw him in there. Is he in a starter position right now?
I don't think he was, but we'll see. If
I would assume he will be by week 1, but I'm going wild with it. I'm just taking a stab at it, saying someone that I really like, my favorite defensive player to watch out of the draft. Not necessarily saying he was the best one, but I think he's someone that could make an impact on an already good Titans team who we've talked about. Very fun to watch. So I'm going with Elijah Molden. Last year I made the mistake of not going with Antoine Winfield, and he didn't win it still, but he was close enough. So at least now I could say, well, if Elijah Molden was thrown into it anyways, and I'd be like, oh, I almost got that. Antoine Winfield's still better though. Sorry, Elijah. It's close, but Antoine always will reign supreme.
Like say, we're the three of us are like a part of a front office and we're, in the pre-draft process. I'd put you in charge of safeties over there because I like Antoine Winfield, but you really were the person who liked him the most and saw the potential in him first. I think you have him as your number one safety too?
I don't think so.
Okay, well, yeah, the point stands. Like we all definitely noticed him, but yeah, if we're upper management, I'd put Tyler in charge of safeties, and then I think every other position is just about up for debate as to who would be in charge. That would be an interesting discussion, but yeah,
and we'll see if I'm right with Elijah Molden.
Yeah, but just based on your chart,
I really do think I'm going to be right, and
I think I'll be right about the guys I
Titans are
like.
going to be very happy.
Yeah, Titans drafted well. I mean, Molden in the 3rd round, good value. I think that Caleb Farley was a good pick, and I think that Dylan Radin was a good pick. So they did good.
Jordan, go ahead. You ready?
Yeah. So with this defensive class, there's really not one complete standout player.
That's why I went with Molden.
I'm gonna just like pick kind of a random one that I think is on a good team. We talked about earlier, Washington football team.
I almost went there.
I'm gonna go Jamin Davis. I know I said his name wrong. I forgot how to say his name.
That's right. You said
No, you
it
got
right.
it.
Jamin. I didn't say that. I said Jamin.
Oh.
Jamin
I
Davis,
thought you said Jamin.
linebacker out of Kentucky. I think he could be a sneaky good guy, and he already that we know good defense. I think just being around a good environment with guys like Chase Young could really bring it out. And I think that in a class with really no number one guy standing out, it could just be some random dude. Went 19 overall, so certainly not random. Has potential to put up some really good numbers, and he'll be someone that I'll be watching throughout next year's football season.
Okay, so there it was. Jordan, I almost went with Jamin Davis as well. I really think being on that defense is a chance to play well right away. So I definitely see what you're saying with that one. So that's defensive rookies of the year.
Yep.
Taking a break.
I'm just looking to see if the fight happened yet. So I have no idea.
Oh yeah, I don't
Okay.
even know.
I feel like we would see
ESPN, are you here?
we'd probably see a notification once it was
Yeah.
over.
Yeah, that's
ESPN
true.
would
I
probably
don't,
say something.
I don't have my notifications on for like really anything because
I'm
they get
more-
annoying. But
That's definitely why. Okay. So now let's go to the big one here. MVP.
wait, MVP or MVP?
MVP.
Oh.
Sorry, not N. Yeah, so we're gonna go to the MVP, although the MVP is a close second to that award.
It's
So
definitely started. I see people punching each other.
Yeah, hopefully it started.
we're talking about the fight in case you are wondering. But
Oh,
who's gonna win it this year? That's a big question, the biggest award so far. We've gone through the rest of them. Now it's time to get to this big one. If you guys are ready, feel free to start us off. Because I'm not sure if I'm quite at
I'm
that
not. I mean, I have a guy.
we're doing MVP.
Yeah.
Yes.
Josh Allen.
Jordan's very ready. So Jordan, go ahead. You already said Josh Allen, so explain it.
I'm on my phone right now, actually.
Well, he will get back to Jordan and he will explain it later on. And I can
Oh.
read you odds off if it helps you a little bit.
Don't read me odds. I don't want to be influenced. Just read me the players.
Read it
I
in a
said
random
Josh
order.
Allen
Yeah.
because he's good. I think that he'll have another great season, and I don't think they're going to give it to Patrick Mahomes just because he's been winning
I
it.
think they'll give it to the person who deserves it. That's what they're supposed to do.
Sorry,
Well-
Patrick, you already won one of these already.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We're done. I think good. I throw Justin Herbert in there too, just because I like those younger quarterbacks. But I really think that as long as he plays to the caliber he did last year or better, he's got a great shot at it. And if he didn't have that slump last year, I think he probably has the award right now already in his pocket. Although that's a big award to keep in your pocket, but I mean, I guess you could try to fit it in there if you got like huge cargo pants or something. I don't know. Either way, though, I got Josh Allen just because I love the production he put up last year. Has a great team around him and has the ability to put up fantastic numbers, MVP type numbers. And he's a quarterback. So
All right,
of course,
Ryan. I'll read you off some names here because I'm still strategizing myself, not in any particular order, so you're not influenced. Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Lamar
Antonio
Jackson,
Brown is in
Matthew
Floyd Mayweather's
Stafford,
locker
Dak
room.
Prescott, Russell Wilson, Justin Herbert, Kyler Murray, Ryan Tannehill, Baker Mayfield, Carson Wentz, Matt Ryan, Joe Burrow. Do you want me to keep going?
No, I think I got it. This was who I was leaning
Those are
towards.
just quarterbacks.
Yeah,
but
I think
it's
I think
best
a
quarterback
good-
award.
Yeah, basically. I even before Jordan said it, I was leaning Josh Allen, and I almost went with him last year. I remember sitting here in this very chair about a year ago, contemplating that decision. I ended up letting bias take over, and I went with Deshaun Watson. Which, if Deshaun Watson was on a better team, I think he very well could be the reigning MVP right now. But I am going to go with Josh Allen. I hate to be boring, but I really do think that, like everything Jordan said, I think is correct. I think he's due
You're
for
very
this.
bright right now.
Yeah. Woo! Yeah, we are bright.
Sorry
Um,
about that.
Maybe
I'll
that's
go
a good
fix it in
sign.
second.
Maybe we're making the right
It's
MVP
not over
pick with
yet.
Josh
Oh, there
Allen.
we go.
I heard Logan's doing all right. But it's not over.
Okay, I'm gonna go Josh second or third.
Although I just saw someone's story that says Logan's getting his butt kicked, so I really don't know what's going on right now.
Okay.
And then this next one says Mayweather is winning 100%.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna agree with you on the MVP and go with Josh Allen. Almost went with him last year. Gonna pick him this year.
Okay. Jordan said he didn't want to go with Patrick Mahomes because it was almost too easy.
Don't.
I hate to be boring in this way, but I really
Ooh.
I don't know who else I could go with. I want to go with Josh Allen as well. I just don't know if we're going to see that. I said that he could win Offensive Player of the Year. I don't know if we're at the MVP point yet. I hope that is the case, and I think there's definitely a chance at it. But I think Patrick Mahomes, coming off that Super Bowl loss last year, he's going to be going out there determined and have something to prove.
Guys, I got to
To
pee.
try and get back as Jordan goes very abruptly. Mahomes is the guy I think to go with right now, and he's got the weapons clearly on offense in terms of running backs and obviously wide receivers to help him out in that category. He's got the arm, the legs. I mean, you look back to that play in the Super Bowl where he's falling down. He's horizontal to the ground and still making those throws. You could see how badly he wanted, how determined he was. That's going to kind of be him all of this year, thinking about that Super Bowl loss and trying to get back there. It's all going to be about that. He said, which I don't know why this was quoted so much, that he wanted to go 20-0. That's the record he wants to worry about breaking. I don't know why it was quoted. Literally any quarterback would say that all the
It's Patrick
time.
Mahomes though.
So yeah,
Like Patrick Mahomes, remember when he was playing the Dolphins and he lost to like 20-something yards on a sack. We just kept running back, then was tackled from behind, and everyone was like, "Oh my gosh, that's so cool!" Like he literally lost 20 yards for his team. Like if any other quarterback does that,
say, I cut my toenails, and that'll be quoted. And everyone will be like, oh, that's so
Yeah.
cool. He
Like,
cuts his toenails.
but hey, I mean, give him a whole like he's worked through it. He's been successful at the NFL level. He's earned this.
I'm not making fun of
reputation.
Mahomes.
No,
I think he'll be MVP.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. I mean, Mahomes, I mean, some of the stuff, like you said, is a little ridiculous to the point where anything he says or does is quoted. But I mean, Mahomes has earned that for himself. Certainly didn't just happen. Got to give him credit for that. So Patrick Mahomes, Tyler's MVP pick. What is Jordan doing over there? The other two of us at the table, Jordan and myself, going with
I was
Josh Bell.
hoping for Kenobi. Why are you here?
And
Darth Maul.
Yeah, this is when we're getting later into the live stream. We've been on for about an hour and a half right now, but I will go as long as the guys here you guys want. So as Jordan impersonates Darth Maul, we can really take this in any direction. I mean, 2 years, it's remarkable. It says a lot about us, but also just as much about
we
people
still
that
think
have
it's a
been there.
Kadarius Tony thing. So let's talk about that.
I forgot about that.
And then we can
Thank
go
you.
maybe go into random stuff because I want to make sure we can pull out as many videos from
Yes.
this live stream as possible.
Yeah, because there's actually some unfortunate scheduling because you guys are going on a vacation
And then
soon after this. And of course, the day you get back, I leave, so we're not going to see each other for 2 weeks, which is annoying for the touchdown table and of course also for us as friends. But hey, back third week of
Yes.
June, we will be back.
Yeah.
Just to let you guys know, I peed fine.
Also, to let you guys know, I said this earlier on, but I'm not sure. I didn't say this part of it, but I'm not sure when the next video for the channel is going to be posted because the live stream is going to have to be put up first, which takes a bit of time for it to render and get to YouTube. Then I'll take clips from that and post them periodically. So
That's
it's not going to be a normal posting schedule like we've always seen, the Monday, Wednesday, Friday, every single week. So we apologize for that, but that's just the situation that we're going through, as Ryan explained just a second ago. So just to clarify, we're going to keep doing everything we can. We want to do this to celebrate 2 years. So hopefully this is good enough content for the week because we're going to be gone. So I don't know if I'll be posting while on vacation, but I'm going to try my best.
Elsa.
Now we can get to
Elsa.
Kadarius Tony. And Ryan wanted to go on a rant about this earlier, so I'm going to let him start off with it. But just to set up this premise of this part of it right now, this live stream and this video that this eventually gets made into, Ryan and myself are very mad about how people are saying Kadarius Toney was a bad pick at 20 when
So
they were probably going to
bad.
pick him at pick number, what was it, 13 or 11. I should know that because the Bears traded up for that one, which is kind of sad, but doesn't matter. Kadarius Toney, a very good player. People are bashing on him. So we're going to explain to you why the Giants picking Kadarius Toney was not a bad thing at all. In fact, it was a very great thing and one of the best picks of the entire draft.
Obi-Wan
not only
Kenobi.
just the first round. Go ahead, Ryan.
Tyler's exactly right. I mean, Tyler and I agree on this. I mean, we agree on a fair number of things. Some things we don't, but we agree on this absolutely. People were trashing the Giants and saying that they, really just did not have a good draft on night one. But the Giants killed it night one.
They were the winner.
They might be the winner because look at in terms of what teams came out of night one with. Look at what the Giants.
This is very debatable.
I don't think it's debatable either. And I'm trying to find my big board here to find out where I put Kadarius Toney. I really think it might have been in the teens because I was really high on him. I think he was my 4th ranked receiver, but I was still very, very high on him. So as I pull up my big board here, Kadarius, nope, that's positional rankings. Kadarius Toney was, I can't find it right now, but I think he was 16. No, he was 16. I do remember that. He was 16 on my big board. The Giants got him at 20. So that's
He's
a steal in
higher
itself.
He's 14.
Yeah, see, like he is such a talented player, a great route runner. He is absolutely a threat with the ball in his hands. Not the biggest guy, but he's just a kind of a guy who can move in space. Also, can be an effective special teams guy with punt and kick returns. So, why you are trashing the Giants for getting a first-round receiver for your offense while trading back and accumulating what was it, a 2022 first-round pick, a 4th and a 5th or something? They came out of night one with the draft
with a great wide receiver.
That
another first-round pick,
and then future in terms of you got a first-round receiver and all that future draft capital. That might be the biggest haul anyone came out with. The fact that they did it while trading back, I don't know why. What's the hate? Is it about Kadarius Toney? Is it about drafting him too high?
I think there's problems people have with Kadarius Toney. I don't know if it's something about him against man coverage or something. But I mean, me watching Kadarius Toney, I was talking about Elijah
Yeah.
Molden earlier on.
He is a fun
In the
player to watch.
stream. He's another fun player, one of the
Sorry,
more
I just
fun
like
ones
his question.
that I saw. We'll get to the question in a second. We're just gonna finish off this rant first off. But I don't know. Kadarius Toney was such a flashy player, a good route runner. I don't understand why the hate is there for him in general. And the Giants, like you said, trading back, getting that first round pick, and getting the player they were most likely going to get at 11 anyways. They traded back because they most likely wanted Devontae Smith. The Eagles traded in front to 10, I believe, and took Devontae Smith.
Yes.
Is that right? They were going to
That's
take Devontae Smith.
Absolutely.
So then you would assume, okay, they're going wide receiver. They'd probably take Kadarius Toney at that point if they want to go wide receiver. They felt confident they could drop back and maybe get a Kadarius Toney, or maybe they liked a guy like Rashad Bateman and could get one of those two guys. And now they go all the way back. No receivers are taken from 12 to 19. They go to 20, get Kadarius Toney, who likely they could have taken anyways, at 11, get that guy another first-round pick and a fourth and another third-round pick for like 2
whatever
years
it
down the
was.
road and still get the guy they want. I think that's awesome, and I think that's even a little late for where I had Kadarius
Yeah,
Toney.
I
I'm
mean-
higher on him than most.
Yeah.
I see some concerns with him, but I also think if you're talking about a Tyreek Hill type of guy out of this draft, I don't think it's Jalen Waddle. I think it's Kadarius Toney.
Yeah, I think I had Tony above Waddle as well on my receivers, and Waddle was taken 6th overall. So I think not only do we think it was a good pick. I mean, you had him at, you said 14. I had him at 16 on our big boards. The Giants got him at 20. So
That's a
technically,
steal.
technically,
That's
that's a
a
steal.
pick.
Yeah, Giants, you killed it. Jay Gettleman, you did a great job. Joe Judge, everyone involved with that process, you did a great job in the first
Who's Joe?
round. Joe Judge, in this case.
Clearly.
There's a lot of Joes. But
Joe, don't do it. Don't do it, Biden.
okay, there you go. But yeah, Giants, you killed it. Front office, you know, I know you knew what you were doing, but yeah, don't listen to the media. And Giants
Good question,
fans,
too. Wow.
Giants fans, you should be a really happy group of people with the Kadarius Toney pick. I know some of you are, but get excited. Kadarius Toney is just such a fun player to watch. It'll make Daniel Jones' life easier. Don't have him run 10, 20 yards down the field. Just get the ball in his hands at the line of scrimmage and let him do the rest because he is truly a playmaker with the ball in his hands.
So to put a bow around all of this, way to go, Giants.
Yes.
Congratulations. Kadarius Toney is a great
Good job,
pick.
and Kenny Galladay.
From the
That too, but
yes, from the touchdown table
Yeah.
ourselves, we are saying that we firmly believe that. So congratulations, Giants fans.
Yeah.
Should
Should we get
and
a
the
Kadarius
Giants as
Toney
well.
jersey for
Now
that?
they
Right?
may say
That's what it seems like it.
congratulations.
So that was not a bad pick. In fact, that was probably one of the best plays of the entire draft. So Giants,
Yes.
way to go. I'm not taking that back unless time proves me wrong.
Okay.
Jordan
Now,
can go out and read the stuff.
let's
that Dan's put
go.
on there.
Okay. I like these comments here. That's right. That's right. Okay. Now, first comment here. Well, we already had plans to actually get into the Bad Batch stuff
Yeah.
before this because we wanted to talk about something because we knew we'd get it off a track at some point.
I think on our
But-
last stream, just to preface a little bit more, we talked about some Star Wars stuff.
Yeah.
So if you don't know, we're big Star Wars fans.
Yeah.
Bad Batch is the Star Wars thing right now. So if you haven't watched it, there's going to be spoilers. Now go
Yeah.
ahead, Jordan.
So, first question here. I'm crosshair. Thank you, Zach.
Whoa,
I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I do like crosshair though. But first question from David Garza. It says thoughts on Rafa and Trace. Now, Star Wars fan talking to you here. Okay. Okay. That's a nice one. Okay. So in season 7 of Clone Wars, they reintroduced Ahsoka Tano, who left the Jedi Order by bringing
Football's
in
over.
Rafa and Trace, who are two girls who kind of have no family and they hate the Jedi because I think they might have killed their family. I don't remember exactly the backstory on it, but they don't like the Jedi, and so they're basically by themselves, like being smugglers, trying to get money and trying to get off of. I think they're stuck on some planet or something. No, maybe they're not. But anyways, they're trying to get money and be smugglers, and so Ahsoka Tano, great Jedi, she runs into them. I don't remember exactly how they met. I just watched this episode like a week ago, a couple weeks ago.
She's trying to escape,
Rafa,
right?
and then Ahsoka.
Yeah, I don't remember. I haven't rewatched season
Yeah.
7.
That arc is
That's
irrelevant.
But either way, they met somehow, and so they went on some missions or something. They it's relevant to this thing. And anyways, so they were just kind of introduced to that, and then at the end, my girl Bo-Katan, she comes and she's like, because she was watching them when they're breaking out of the jail. She's like, "Yo, Ahsoka, we need you to help get to get my city back, and then Ahsoka's like, well, I don't know, I'm kind of done with that Jedi stuff right now, and she's like, bro, we need you, and Ahsoka's like, I bet I'm coming back, and so Ahsoka did come back, and she next episode she meets with Anakin again, which is pretty cool moment right there, and so that's kind of the story of how Rafa and Trace got introduced in that arc right there. But Dave Filoni, who
What a guy.
makes a bunch of stuff for Star Wars, is like, you know what? I didn't put these characters in there for no reason. Like, they weren't just there to bring back Ahsoka. No, they're coming back in Bad Batch. And by the way, Bad Batch was the Bad Batch episodes were the first few episodes of season 7. So Dave Filoni had this planned out in advance. My man, I love you, Dave Filoni. And so, anyways, so what they did was they incorporated the Bad Batch into obviously their own TV show here, but they also brought back Rafa and Trace from the episodes that I was just talking about. And so in the last episode of the Bad Batch, spoiler alert if you haven't watched it already, but if you're watching this, then I spoiled a bunch for you. But if you haven't watched the last episode, then click off of this right now. But I think everyone who's watching this has watched it. So last episode of the Bad Batch, they're going, Sid, who's just my favorite character. Sid puts them on a mission here to go and get, what's it called? What's the droid called? I forgot exactly what it's called. It's
R7.
no, the droid that they're trying to go and get, the last one. It's one of the droids used during the Clone War. It was a leader of the droid army, and basically
the tactical droid.
Yeah, the tactical droid. It had all the intel on the clones, and so it was kind of valuable information after the Clone Wars has ended, just to get some information on the clones. And so Sid ordered them to go and get it for him. And Bad Batch was like, I bet, give us some money. Let's go get this thing. We need to find our way here. So they go and try to get it. And they find the head on a conveyor belt about to be destroyed because it's the last one. It's about to be destroyed into a fire. And Omega finds it. And she's like, oh, guys, there it is. Let's go get it. And all of a sudden, there's some person in one of the suits, one of the workers' suits, comes and takes the head. And he's like, oh, no, someone else has got the head. And so they go and they're fighting them, or kind of fighting them. Omega goes and runs into one of them, and then I don't remember exactly how it happens, but to take off the helmet. And well, first of all, she said, I think it was Rafa who started talking. I recognized the voice right away. I was like, no, they're back.
I wasn't happy that they were back at first, but once I saw how they actually tied into the story and the way it ended, I was really happy with it.
And so basically come back, and they at first were kind of like keep away with the droid, and they kind of finally started working together. Some other really cool stuff happened in the episode too, like the stuff with Wrecker and how the inhibitor chip is still getting with him. That was fun to see that too. Anyways, though, that's off the top I'm on right now. And so basically they work together. They get the clones, they get the some of the clankas back out, and they fight against the policemen droids who are trying to kill them, and they're able to escape. And then basically Bad Batch at the end has the information on the droid, because the droid was technically destroyed, but Tech, my man, he got the information on the droid. And so
Star Wars theory
Hunter just decided to give the information to Rafa and Trace at the end. Trace is Rafa's sister. I didn't really mention Trace before, but she exists. And so they decided to give her the information at the end because they're good people. They thought they were fighting for the right side, which of course for them was against the Empire, because they kind of made it seem like, we're fighting for the Republic here. And so we still don't know exactly whose side they're on, because we'll get into that in just a second here and my theories on this. But thoughts on Rafa and Trace, David? I didn't like them in season 7 of Clone Wars. I was not too happy to see them pop up in this episode. In fact, when I heard her voice, I was like, oh, no, God, please, no, like, from The Office. But actually, towards the end of it, I did like how they were involved. I liked the planning ahead of time from Dave Filoni to figure out how he was going to reincorporate them. And I think it actually will be an interesting part of this new branch of Star Wars to see what significance they'll have on the Bad Batch here. And also, after that, he said, yo, is there an echo? Such a good part, because I forgot exactly what the line was. Or it was something about how to get out of it. And then, because Trace said, like, how we're going to get out of the situation. And then Rafa said the exact same thing. And Trace is like, is there an echo in here? And then, Echo, who's, an actual person there, is like, yes, that's me. I'm Echo. Just thought that was funny. It made me laugh. And so that's why he put that there. We'll get to that question in just a second. Who is winning in a fight? Oh,
I think Mayweather just won, if I'm correct.
Then Jack said Ryan is Omega,
I don't get what he means by that, but okay.
and David said that's right. And then he said Jordan's Crosshair. I love Crosshair.
Yeah.
I hope to see him again soon. I think he's a great character, and I liked him a lot in season 7 of Clone Wars. I just think that his personality is different than all of them, and the fact that he's kind of bad now is going to be something really cool to watch. And then Jax also said Tyler is Rafa.
Okay.
So, I mean, Rafa's kind of a, I'm trying to see Tyler as Rafa. I mean, no, it's not Rafa. Ryan's probably, I'd say Ryan's probably Trace. Okay, now let's get to the interesting questions here.
Sorley?
No, not McSorley. First question from David, I'm going to read off. I like both of these questions put in here. What position would all members of the Bad Batch play?
Okay.
I think that's a really good
I'll
question.
start. I think Tech should be quarterback.
That's
Because
what I was thinking.
he'd like name out the whole defensive scheme and the whole
Yeah.
game plan and be like, and the wide receiver would be like, how'd you know that? Well, I thought it was obvious.
Yeah.
Oh, they're playing cover 3 here. That guy's gonna come here and just based on where he lined up,
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
and then he just know. He just.
I think that's a
a
no-brainer.
yeah. I think Tech is quarterback. I mean, I think
Where's
honestly,
put in record because he could play
both lines, like how like in high school how they play
Well, you could
offensive
put him
line.
at running back too.
Oh,
Though.
he could be like a Derrick Henry too. I
Exactly.
didn't think about that.
I'd say
If we're just doing skill positions, I'd say for sure give Record the running back position.
yeah, I think so too. We'll include Crosshair in this. Here, let's see. What do we put Cross? Because Crosshair uses a gun, so it's not like he has any physical abilities, but it's
He's
not
got
like you're
good
shooting guns. in
focus, I
football.
would say.
Yeah.
He's a good focus.
So maybe
But
wide
maybe
receiver.
yeah,
I
like
think I was
focus
thinking
on the ball.
receiver. Yeah. I mean, hitting a target, kind of quarterback. A way to have a quarterback.
Yeah.
Tech's our guy, and so I think wide receiver would be the right spot for him. And then with Echo, he's kind of the guy that like gets all the information, like from machines and stuff.
He'd
because
be like
he's
the
part
backup
machine.
quarterback that is on the sideline with the tablet.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I
But-
feel like he'd be like the film director. I think.
Yeah. Or maybe an
If
assistant.
we have to,
coach.
if we have to put him on the
Echo.
field, I'd say he'd probably be. He kind of would be an offensive
Just
lineman.
throw him
to
as a
me.
cornerback.
Oh, I think that is true. Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, corner seems right for Echo. And then we're Miss Hunter. His ability is tracking stuff and like tracing things.
So probably defense maybe.
I'd say,
Linebacker.
Linebacker.
Yeah,
Yeah, he'd
it'd
be
be
like
a
the
good
quarterback of the defense.
yeah, and be able to sniff out all the plays and stuff. And so I think that was a good question. We also got another good question here, and this one, could spark some controversy here. Who is winning in a fight, Omega or Ryan? And Jack, in the comments, waited and he said Ryan would lose somehow.
Are there weapons or not?
Well, here's the thing.
If there's weapons, I could. Oh, after
Because-
seeing Omega try to shoot in that last episode,
I
maybe.
mean,
I figured it
can I
out,
just
yeah.
say, Sid, what a beast, right?
Yeah. Sid would destroy all of us.
Sid would just wreck us, absolutely. So this is a good question here.
Like how-
And
let's
I
see
really
how old-
am trying to answer this question fairly.
Well,
I've
how-
seen
how
Ryan
old do we
fight.
think Omega is?
That's not no.
Yeah. She's got to be like 10.
No
She's older than
canonical
10.
answer to this question yet.
She's probably. Like,
I'd say like 12.
I was gonna say like maybe 13.
Okay. I've seen Ryan fight before. It's not the prettiest thing, but anyways. And
Gaining
then
the experience.
Omega-
If she really annoyed me somehow, I think that could
Oh,
take
yeah.
me to a new
Yeah,
level.
then I still don't think that's gonna make much. of a difference.
So I think certainly I hope Ryan could win this fight. But I'm gonna bring in two separate things here from Star Wars. Okay. First thing is in the last episode we saw her using that bow, which I think
Yeah.
will be kind of her weapon.
Yeah,
If
again,
there were
are
weapons there, I think she would definitely win because
Yes.
I don't think I've
I
ever
would
seen
agree with
Ryan use a weapon.
I would
If I
agree with
did, I've never seen him play archery or
Yeah.
shoot a gun or anything like that. And if I did, it might be a sore sight for my eyes to see.
Yeah,
or
I would
my
agree if there's
opinions
weapons for sure.
so I think she win. Also, there's a lot of opinions that people think that Omega is force
Yeah,
sensitive,
no, that is not
and
fair.
so that wouldn't
That's
be
where I
fair
was
either.
gonna go.
Exactly. And so I
But
think
who
that's
says
probably
I'm
something
not?
that's going to be true. Of course,
Who's
I am
that?
force
Try that.
sensitive. At least
Then
I
we'll
think
see. Oh,
Yeah.
he's doing it.
Oh my
He's
God.
doing
didn't move at all. But I think Ryan technically would win, but there are factors that in the future throughout this series, Omega would win. But as
Jack
we
just
are
made a
right
very
now,
good point.
what did he say? He said, based on how she threw those food trays, Omega. That's a good point. She did have pretty good accuracy.
I
on
would give her
one.
that. Yes.
David said, "Who could throw a disc farther, Omega or Ryan?" Once again, if Omega has the force, she could just go like that's it.
Yeah.
That's true, but she doesn't have the force right now.
Well, she could. We just don't know. She could
Well,
be like.
okay.
She could be a Palpatine.
I've been disc golfing with Ryan once?
No, more than
No, we went
that.
twice. We went twice. We went.
Ryan knows.
We went on one day, and then we went with
in like July, maybe.
in July.
July what? Do you know?
I
By any
think-
chance?
Uh,
It's off the top of your head. maybe,
July
you know?
20th, maybe.
That's just a random guess. Maybe?
Yes.
Okay.
Anyways.
Got it.
And then we went with a couple of our guy friends, I think.
Yeah. No, we went with Charlie too that one time.
Oh yeah, that's
So
right.
maybe
I thought you were
3.
there 3 times.
Yeah.
But,
I think I am better now. So next time, I really think I will be better.
well,
A little bit.
going to Jack's comment that actually came after that, he was responding to David's question based on how she threw those food trays, Omega. I mean, she did throw them pretty nicely. Now, I will say, Omega, if you're watching this, disc golf, it's a there's power, and power is a big part of it for sure. But
my God.
Please,
Also,
Omega, if you're listening,
also a big part of disc golf,
We're
or a big
wrapping
part
up
of getting to
Oh,
this
Omega,
far,
if you're watching,
it's really
this,
just
a
fun.
fact.
And it goes the same way for regular golf too. You don't even have to swing that hard. If you're using proper form, you can get the ball to the disc really far. And so I think that I know you can sling those trays, Omega, but you really need to use proper form. It's been something that I've been working on for a long time and still working on. So is David, and so are many disc golfers around there. You really have to find that proper form. So even if you could chuck those food trays, you really got to work on that form. So I don't think Ryan's form is very good either. However,
I am
since
as well,
Ryan
yeah.
has played like a total of maybe like 4 times,
Yeah.
I think that his 4-time experience over Omega would give him a bit of an advantage.
Yeah, and again, I'm excited. I don't know when, but if there's some time where maybe the 3 of us, and who knows, maybe a group of other people, you never know, like go out there, throw it around, I think I would be a little better.
Oh yeah, but I'd destroy you.
No, of course, because you.
I have
you're
the
like,
fight update. It's over.
oh,
So they said before, if it went all 8 rounds, which it did,
Okay.
so props to Logan Paul for going all 8 rounds. They would not declare a winner, which is stupid.
yeah.
So no one wins. But what I've
That's
been
like saying
seeing,
in a hockey series,
what I've been
okay, if it goes to
seeing-
game 7, no one wins.
Yeah,
what I've been seeing is that Mayweather was a better fighter. In it.
Which I mean, I think that makes sense if he's the one that's earned. Like again, like the experience
What-
helps.
That is, I mean, I don't watch many fighting stuff, so maybe there's a reason. But going off of what I know,
Yeah, none of us are
what the
very.
heck,
Yeah.
like, oh, you made it far enough, tie. That's not how it works.
It's like the NFL just saying in overtime,
but this is like a playoff game.
Yeah.
put it into it. Yeah.
You don't just stop in a playoff
Yeah,
game. You have to
there's no
declare.
game 7s. It's like
I mean, if it's literally a tie, and you can't decide who wins. That's fine. But if you have a winner and you're like, well, I mean, he won, but he drew it on long enough, so we're gonna make it a tie.
yeah.
No, that's not how life works. Sorry, buddy. Sorry, Logan.
At
You
least
lost.
Logan gets a moral victory that he made all 8 rounds, which is impressive.
Yeah,
still.
I mean, we don't.
to go
really
against
have- yeah,
Mayweather, who by the way is a bit older, and I think Logan Paul's taller than him.
I don't
Probably
know.
has longer arms, but
He's bigger
still
than him.
much more experienced and able to hold up 8 rounds. That's still very impressive on both of their parts. So,
yes.
We're about to wrapping
Oh.
up. We're coming up upon 2 hours, so
Yeah.
send in your last questions right now.
We got a
if you
nice
have
one.
any. Otherwise,
We
we
have a-
Piggyman123 said, and I quote, "Nut."
Okay.
that is what he said. Now we asked it with a question mark. That's his last question.
Yeah.
Nuts question mark. Like almonds is he talking
I
about? Or
think.
peanuts, salted peanuts.
Or maybe like the
Thoughts on Leia? Leia's nice.
maybe like the
So nice.
the walnuts from Plants vs Zombies or something. Maybe that's what he's talking about.
maybe that's probably
And then the taller ones.
yeah.
Those were nice.
What about cashews? Cashews
Um,
are good. I think cashews are the best. Nut.
So let's try and end it just around 2 hours. I think this is a good place to end it. It's 10:59 at this point. So thank you guys for tuning into the stream.
Is Stanford a
um,
good college?
Irrelevant. So let's get this
They're a good
wrapped up
college.
quickly.
Davis Mills.
School wise, Davis Mills is from Stanford. Now their sports teams not the greatest, although they'll shoot up sometimes. Their football team is sometimes good. Andrew Luck's from Stanford, and some other guys as well. I think that their basketball team for girls actually won this
Yeah.
the tournament.
Congrats
So
to them.
Glad
by
that
the
you
way.
emphasized that.
Exactly. So that's a good thing for Stanford. So I'd say they're a pretty good college. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So
think they're a good college, but I think there's better. Like there's another tier of
Oh yeah.
elite.
there's no need to get into
I
this.
mean, for girls
conversation.
basketball though, they are the most elite.
Well, yes, but in other categories, I think there's things where you could say Stanford is good, and if you think they're good, you're right, and good for noticing that. But there is absolutely better, and I think everyone at the table would agree with that.
Yeah.
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 So you think it's time? And David said fantasy. You want to talk about fantasy football? And Jack was just questioning. One of you said shoot up.
What I say?
I think Jordan said that.
Yeah, I think you were talking about like shooting up the rankings or something.
Yeah.
Maybe he was just confused.
Maybe
by
Stanford
That's
will
the
do
stuff
that.
I say
Every
and forget.
verbiage.
So
There'll be
There'll be
fantasy
times when I'm
football.
in
I'm sure we'll make
concurrent
videos
thought,
about
what the heck
that
am I talking
later
about?
on in the future, David. So there you go with that one. So let's
Yeah.
wrap up the stream. It's been just about 2 hours now. Thank you guys for
2 hours
tuning
for
in.
2 years.
Hey,
I'm gonna
thanks,
get ready.
Piggy
Yeah,
Man,
2
1, 2,
hours,
3
2
for joining
years.
us here. I'm
Maybe that means
surprised
we gotta
you're
go
not asleep.
3 hours next time.
What? I definitely.
Who
We're
knows?
not gonna get
We could definitely
well,
do it.
yeah, it'll be summer. We'll figure it out.
2
So-
hours for the 2-year anniversary.
Thank you guys for tuning in to this 2-year anniversary. Ryan, I'm gonna go by the camera and then you can do our normal wrap up thing.
All right.
So actually, before
Wait.
we end, I want to do something. So let's just do a clip now. So just do, hey guys, welcome to Touchdown Table. I'm Tyler. I'm Ryan. That's Tyler. That's Jordan, like you normally would.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna have you say we're doing a live stream. So here's a clip from it. So just so I can cut that out. right now.
Okay.
So just do that now. This is just an end of stream thing. Go ahead.
All right. Hey guys, welcome to the Touchdown Table. I'm Ryan. That's Tyler. That's Jordan. You're going to be watching a clip from our live stream, and it is here for you right now.
right now.
Perfect.
All
Ryan.
right.
Thank you. Now that we just seem to introduce, we're gonna wrap it up right now. I'm gonna hit the end of stream button. So
All right.
Ryan, give us
Thank
our
you
signature
all.
sign off.
Love you
All
all.
right.
Thanks for the question. David said, "What about politics?"
Not
For
today.
now.
Off camera.
But you know I love to get into politics.
Yeah.
But just not on the Touchdown Table channel.
Yeah, not on the Touchdown Table channel, but outside of that, sure, absolutely.
Love politics.
Yeah, we would get into that for sure. But yeah, I don't remember all the things Tyler says by heart. But
Trump or Biden?
comment,
Is the next question.
comment.
You know
We're
my
not
answer,
answering
Jack.
the questions.
Yeah, I'll tell you later. So, again, all the things Tyler says. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe.
Well, if you watch the beginning of this, you might get an answer from my dad. So.
That is true. So again, I don't know what to say. Like, comment, subscribe. Always appreciate the support we get. I'm going a little off script here, but again, through 2 years, the support and love we've gotten from family, friends, and even other people who we don't know. Just seeing every comment, every like, every new subscriber, it really does mean a lot to us. I always love seeing that subscriber number go up or see a video we have likes on. You guys, watching us, supporting us. We
That's
do
right.
see you. We do appreciate you. And again, we've done many things, successful with the table so far. And I said this in one of our
Side
Instagram
note.
posts. I really do firmly believe with all my heart that for this group right here, for the Touchdown Table,
The
I
best
really do believe
is yet
the
to
best,
come.
yes, the best is yet to come. And I don't just say that because it sounds cool. I mean it from the bottom of my heart. I think we are all very passionate about what we do and how we all want to get into sports media careers. So
That's right.
the future is bright for the Touchdown Table. And I really do believe the best days are ahead of us for the table. What that looks like, I mean,
We'll find out.
we'll find out. We might have a better answer for that in 6 months or a year, but I am very excited about the future of the Touchdown Table. We'll leave it at that for now. So again, thanks to everyone who supported us. 2 years, a remarkable achievement. And with
Thanks for the
that,
great live stream.
absolutely. Thanks for the great live stream. With that, we'll sign off.
With that, you gotta say normal.
Oh, and with that, we will see you guys later.
See ya.
See ya.